The green flag flies, and it's time to drop the hammer.
It's 3 wide, heading towards the checkers.
Oh, everybody's crashing!
Side by side for the win!
He muscles him up and out of the groove! Now contact! And around!
And this is going to stack up about 15 of them!
It's 3 wide for 3 rows! Kyle Larson has pulled off grand larceny!
Unbelievable!
NASCAR has made another trip to the Poconos. Today in the honeymoon capital of the country, the tricky triangle is back in play for NASCAR's best. Hello, one and all. I'm Matthew Owens. Welcome to Pocono. Thanks for having us in for the race. Seth Eaves and Matt White are coming up in just a moment. As you well know, the start time has been moved up today by a couple of hours because of some scary-looking forecast later in the day. So let's immediately jump into pre-race here, and let's give you a look at the championship standings following the race in Michigan last weekend. Tyler Reddick's big lead at the top of the championship standings cut basically in half last week from 97 to 51 after Reddick suffered his first DNF of the year, while Denny Hamlin went on to win. He's won the last 2 races. So Hamlin just 51 points back in the assault for the regular season championship, which, as we know, is so extremely important. Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, and Ty Gibbs stay where they were, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Page 2 leads off with Kyle Larson. Another good result for Carson Hocevar at Michigan last week, kept him 7th. Chris Buescher scored his first career win at Pocono here 9 years ago. He's just inside the top 10 with Daniel Suarez and Christopher Bell, who had that grinding crash late in the race last week. More on him later. Page number 3 of the championship standings is not that one. There's page 3. Darrell Wallace Jr., best week in a while last week. He sits 11th, just a point ahead of William Byron. Chase Briscoe is the defending winner of this race. Shane Van Gisbergen's run of 3 straight top 10 snapped last week. Brad Keselowski also got caught up in a crash in Michigan. So that means the cut line is held by Austin Cindric. And as you can see, he's ahead of a teammate who's outside of the chase picture. That's Joey Logano. And the margin is just 1 point. Eric Jones off a second-place finish, his best of the season. He's now just 8 points in back of the chase cutoff line. Ryan Preece, a bad week at Michigan. And Michael McDowell just hanging on inside the top 20. So that's how the championship standings look coming into our once-a-year trip to Pocono. It is race number 16 of the season. As we mentioned, Denny Hamlin has won the last 2 NASCAR Cup Series races, and now he comes to the best track that he has had great success at. He scored his first career win here at Pocono in 2006. He has won 6 times since then, and he is getting closer and closer to Tyler Reddick in the championship standings. Matt White and Seth Eaves join me today in this accelerated pre-race show. Matt, the battle for the regular season championship perhaps is on.
Yeah, indeed. Good afternoon, Matthew. Hello, Seth. Hi, everyone. It's going to be a race for third, isn't it, from Ryan Blaney on downwards, you would assume now, after last week. And, yeah, let's hope we get a battle between Denny Hamlin and Tyler Reddick throughout this summer stretch. Feel like it's going to be on. Hamlin's probably going to be one of the favourites today. And as you said, he's won the last 2 and 3 out of the last 4 weeks, if you include the All-Star race. So Hamlin is on a hot streak at the moment. Reddick's had a bit of an up and down couple of weeks, but he'll be looking to bounce back here today. Another track where Toyota should be strongest.
Yeah, Toyota has certainly dominated the NASCAR Cup Series season to this point, and you've got a lot of them towards the front of the grid here today. Let's talk about this Pocono Raceway. It is nicknamed the Tricky Triangle, and it is nicknamed extremely well as we take our virtual laps courtesy of NASCAR 25 from iRacing Studios. Main straightaway is 3/4 of a mile long, and then you drop in to turn number 1, Matt White.
Yeah, indeed. All three corners very different on this racetrack as well. So we'll talk about that in a moment. Out of turn 1 and then onto the longer of the straights, up the back straight, the long pond straightaway towards what's called the tunnel turn, turn 2, at the top tip of the triangle. And it gets very, very narrow here. Generally single file, but Chase Briscoe in front of us trying to make something happen on the outside heading towards turn 3.
And turn 3 is the very flat and slow corner, which is shaped after the Milwaukee Mile. All three corners around this racetrack shaped after corners from famous racetracks. Turn 1 shaped after Trenton, the old Trenton racetrack. Turn 2, Indianapolis. Turn 3, Milwaukee. Straightaways are very long, as I said. Main stretch, 3/4 of a mile. The Long Pond Straight is over 3,000 feet long. That third straightaway is at about 1,700 feet and change. Seth Eaves joins us today. Seth, it's back to Pocono we go, and as you take a look at how the race will play out today, Seth, Pocono is one of the most unique challenges in the entire sport.
Yes, that is one way of putting it. Tricky Triangle, very accurate nickname as you mentioned, and it is a challenge track. It's either, depending on who you ask, it's either an oval that races like a road course or a road course that races like an oval. So before anybody says, yes, I know it's not an oval, it's not really, it's a triangle, but it's the point. And again, we have to remind ourselves it's a 3-turn racetrack, not 4.
And also not 5, as has been talked about on social media this week. Let's take a look at the starting grid. Practice and qualifying here yesterday to set the field. And on pole, would you believe, is Denny Hamlin. 52nd time in his career, the 7-time Pocono winner. Starts on pole next to Kyle Larson, who's never won here at Pocono. He'll try to break that 39-race winless drought today. Daniel Suarez has his 4th top 5 start of the season in row 2, along with Ty Gibbs, who made his debut in the Cup Series here in 2022. Chase Briscoe, the defending Pocono winner, in row 3 with Chris Buescher, whose first career win came here in 2016. The Legacy Motor Club boys, Eric Jones and John Hunter Nemechek, are in row 4. In row 5 is William Byron, who's been outside the top 15 in 5 of the last 8 races, and Ryan Blaney, who's won here twice. As you look through the rest of the starting grid, take note of championship leader Tyler Reddick, down in 16th, his worst qualifying result of the season, Matt.
Yeah, indeed, and behind a couple of guys that he really shouldn't be behind at all. Good qualifying from Austin Hill there, inside the top 15. We know the story of the 18 this year. Christopher Bell with his hand injury, which I'm sure we'll touch on as the day goes on, all the way down there in 22nd with Chase Elliott. A couple of those guys will try and make places up early doors.
Connor Zilich starting 28th, won here last year in the Grand National Series. RFK teammates Brad Keselowski and Ryan Preece each had airbox issues in P&Q yesterday. They made those repairs. They'll start at the rear of the field. Same goes for Darrell Wallace Jr. Shane Van Gisbergen starts well back. The manufacturer breakdown: 19 Chevrolets, 10 Fords, and 9 Toyotas. For, as you see this again, a 160-lap, 400-mile race. Stage length's different today, 30 in the first stage, then 65 for the last 2. Jeff Gordon set the race record back here in 2011. That fuel window, very important. We've seen a number of Pocono races come down to fuel mileage. Quickly, Matt, with the whiteboard. That's not the right whiteboard. We'll carry on.
To go with. Let me bring it up because I know you sent it to me earlier.
Yep.
It's all right.
We scramble.
Here we go.
We scramble.
Risk versus reward on the restarts. Thank you. There you go. Is point number 1. Much like Michigan a little bit last week we talked about in this segment. Do you go for broke on the restarts and try and make up as much time? If you're not going for broke, you might have other people around you that are. So that could be detriment to your race, but we'll see. Stage flipping is something that we will talk about here, because if you're towards the front of the field and you can make a pit stop and not go a lap down, then you'll be able to perhaps flip the stage. And this is one of the odd oval, to Seth's point, it's not an oval, but we call it an oval tracks that we will see that on in the season, especially with a couple of road courses coming up in the next few weeks. And the turns 1, 2, 3 compromise. Well, as Matthew said, they're 3 very different corners. Where do you set your car up? Do you try and go for a balance of all 3 and sort of take a punt? Or do you set on 1 or 2 of the corners and get it right? And with the limited practice and qualifying time, that is what teams have had to conjure with through the week coming to the racetrack.
That is a look at the keys to the race, some bullet points that we'll be talking about throughout the day here at Pocono. There is the full starting grid for you on screen to look at one more time as the field just made a pass down pit road. 1 to go signal given. Lights are out atop the Chevrolet Corvette pace car. So we will be going green here in just a couple of moments. We talked about the unique nature of this Pocono Raceway. Perhaps the most unique racetrack on the circuit. That means that it could open itself up to some real surprises. Here today, we saw some surprises last week at Michigan, including Eric Jones, who finished second. He and his Legacy Motor Club teammates starting right together in the top 10, Seth. Good showing for them yesterday in qualifying. We'll see what they have in race speed.
That Legacy Motor Club team, particularly Jones, they've really hit on something the last few weeks.
Yeah, they absolutely have. As we are about halfway in on this final pace lap. As you see, the Super Booth back together as we get ready to go here at Pocono, which is the perfect track for the Super Booth to be at because there's 3 straightaways, 3 turns, and 3 of us. Look at us go. It's almost like we planned it that way. But we didn't. But
Thank you, the weather.
Yes. Moved up start time. Good job by NASCAR. Good job by Sports on Prime to get us moved up to try to avoid later weather happening. Seth, we're coming to green.
Indeed, and we're just about ready to get this one going today. Overcast skies. Let's hope we get all 400 miles in. Big 400 miles of action at the Poconos, at the honeymoon capital of the world. Who will be feeling good and who will be left feeling like a jilted lover at the end of 400 miles for the start of the Great American Getaway of the Great American Getaway 400. Walnut Cove, North Carolina's Matthew Owens.
Denny Hamlin leads the field to green. It's a swoon in the honeymoon capital of the world. Green flag up in the air. It's time to drop the hammer at the tricky triangle. Denny Hamlin, the pole sitter, choosing the outside line to start on. He's got Kyle Larson to his left. The old foes race each other for the lead in turn 1.
3 and 4 wide in the background. That'll all get settled out, hopefully. But off of the first corner they come. And it's Kyle Larson with a nose in front. And they'll be side by side, actually, as they head up towards turn 2. Larson will have the inside running here. And will hope to hold off the pole sitter. They will go side by side through turn 2. Larson with a slight nose in front.
He's going to clear him on the exit of 2, though. So Kyle Larson to the lead. Now Denny Hamlin gives way on the bottom to Brad Keselowski. Side by side for the number 2 position. Hamlin inside. That's not Keselowski. That's Suarez, you fool. It's Larson by 2 car lengths off 3.
Kyle Larson clears turn 3 with the lead, and he will lead lap number 1. It is the 10th race in 2026 that Kyle Larson has led. Meanwhile, back to turn 1, Suarez and Hamlin wheel to wheel for second. Then they're side by side for 4th with Chase Briscoe and Ty Gibbs.
Briscoe getting down the inside of his teammate. They'll be side by side as they come up out of 2. Gibbs very close to the wall. Sorry, out of 1, not out of 2. And very close to the wall. Suarez has cleared Hamlin, who will try and attack back heading to 2. And does dive up the inside to try and get that second place back in corner number 2.
Side by side, Hamlin and Suarez for second. Behind you got Briscoe and Gibbs for 4th. I hate to do this on lap 2, gentlemen, but Curacao have equalized.
Yeah, if you just saw me gesturing on camera, first ever World Cup goal for Curacao. They are level with Germany. We'll keep you updated as the day goes on. Larson away with the lead, flashing across the line. Daniel Suarez and Denny Hamlin still duel for second, side drafting each other down the straightaway as some trash makes its way on the racetrack here that the drivers are trying to avoid. Hamlin trying to avoid being overtaken here, Matt.
Yeah, more surprises. We didn't expect a team in blue to be scoring in the game against Germany and a team in blue streaking away at the front of the field. But Larson is doing such. Hamlin holding off Suarez for the moment. Briscoe has cleared Gibbs for that battle for fourth position with the Chris Buescher number 17 car up behind in sixth. Single file throughout the first 10.
Indeed, it is single file. You got Ryan Blaney in that, what is being called a Ryan Newman throwback, which I do not like because that makes me feel old. 3 wide through turn 3. Cindric, Custer, and Buescher. That won't work, or will it?
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. works his way into the picture too, slips to the inside of Austin Cindric. Now, much like at Michigan on the front stretch last week, drivers can line up on this long straightaway and draft together like we're on a super speedway, and Cindric was caught out of the drafting pack there. Let's pick up a battle for fourth coming out of turn 1.
Yeah, we said that Chase Briscoe had cleared Ty Gibbs. Well, the opposite might be in case here. Gibbs having a look through turn 1 but couldn't complete the pass. So Briscoe will hold the fourth place for the moment, heading back up towards turn number 2. Kyle Larson leading by over a second.
Oh my goodness. So here is Ty Gibbs trying to chase Briscoe down for that fourth position. 2 Joe Gibbs Racing teammates battling. Larson has already checked out to a lead of north of a second on Hamlin.
Yeah, Larson gets the clean air on the nose of that Chevrolet Camaro. Clean air has always been king here at Pocono, no matter if you've been running here in the 70s, 80s, 90s, or modern day. You love clean air here at Pocono. You can really pull away from the pack. Let's pick up a battle outside the top 10. Joey Logano and Zane Smith, who's run extremely well the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he really has, as they found something at FRM, and he clears Logano coming out of turn number 1. Put Logano into the target zone of Austin Cindric, and as you touched on in the pre-race, those guys separated by 1 point at the cut line. If it was to finish the opposite way around now, they'd be tied.
So everybody has kind of, for the most part, got into a single file formation until you go way in the back of the pack. That's what, outside the top 20, you see a battle there. A.J. Allmendinger, noted to be really, really good at Pocono, of course, and Cole Custer battling.
That's for the 20th position that Allmendinger will take from Custer. Custer, who had his best overall weekend of the season last week in Michigan. Good qualifying run for the Haas Factory team this weekend as well. Running 21st, and behind him and poking out to his inside, Matt, going to 1, is Christopher Bell with a broken left wrist after that horrifying Michigan crash 7 days ago.
Yeah, we didn't get to hear from him or see him post-race. He snuck out the back door of the medical centre, but we find out late in the evening on Sunday that he has broken the left wrist, so start calling him Captain Hook for the next couple of weeks. Christopher Bell driving one-handed here at Pocono.
Indeed. So, by the way, the worst possible track you could drive with a cast on, I might add.
Oh, my gosh.
One of the worst.
Yeah.
Josh Berry's been in the news this week. He almost had a coming together with Riley Herbst in 3. Meanwhile, Austin Dillon has made a pass on Bubba Wallace.
Darrell Wallace Jr. and Brad Keselowski trying to move up the field in tandem. Of course, they both had to start at the rear of the field due to unapproved adjustments. They were already going to start there anyway. Trying to move up together, Matt. They have each picked up 7 positions.
Yeah, indeed so. Trying to get through the field. And it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. We didn't really get to touch on strategy as the Todd Gilliland car gets very close to the wall coming out of 1. Didn't really get to touch on strategy during the race, during the pre-race, but this first stage will be fine on fuel. There will be no problem at all getting through the 30 laps of stage 1 on fuel, and then things will change.
Indeed, they will. Again, it is all Kyle Larson at the front of the field. Real quickly, your top 10, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Daniel Suarez, Chase Briscoe, Ty Gibbs, Chris Buescher, William Byron, Eric Jones, John Hunter Nemechek, and Ryan Blaney.
And we begin lap 8 here at the Pocono Raceway, which all season long will be devoted to honoring the life and legacy of Kyle Busch, who scored 4 wins here at the Pocono Raceway. Took him a while to get his first Pocono win. That didn't come until 2017, 12 years into his career, and then he won here 4 times in a 5-year span. Busch the winner here in July of 2017 and 18, June of 2019, and 2021. He led over 100 laps in the race that he finished 9th in 2017. And of course, we called a number of his wins many of his wins on our past platform, including one here in the Truck Series at Pocono, where he created a late race pass to score the victory. Lap 8 complete, Kyle Larson in front, Denny Hamlin and Daniel Suarez second and third, and then the battle for fourth, which rages on in front of Matt White.
Yeah, 2 of the Gibbs cars, 4th and 5th, Briscoe and Gibbs. And they are just over 4 seconds behind our race leader. And now as we are on to lap 9 of the race, it has fully settled down now into the traditional Pocono ribbon set where everybody's at least a half a second or so and more separated by everybody pretty much.
Indeed, that is the case. So Hamlin running in second, of course, not for the first time in his life, Matthew. Denny Hamlin made to eat crow by the events of a certain basketball game that happened last night.
Well, indeed. Hamlin, of
course. See, here's the thing. I know I can hear everybody saying, "Oh, you're drifting off subject again, Seth." Well, look, Mister, and Mrs. It's getting strung out. We didn't have a pre-race, so we're going to talk about Hamlin's crow. We're going to talk about Belzinger. We're going to talk about Josh Berry looking for work and this, that, and the other. So just bear with us here.
Hamlin, of course, 7 wins here at Pocono, most by any driver at this track, including the first 2 wins of his career. Came here in 2006 and swept the races. In fact, where he just passed the entry to turn 2, he had a flat tire and spun out in that first race in 06. Came all the way back to win that race as a rookie. He has been such a dominant force around this track for 20 years now. Currently runs second after starting on pole. Kyle Larson took the lead from him. And, you know, a lot of talk about the longevity of Denny Hamlin's career, Matt. He's done a lot of impressive things in his career. Obviously, last week tied him with Kyle Busch on the all-time Cup Series wins list. I would have to say, as Gibbs and Briscoe continues this battle, we'll try to pick it up for you in a moment. Just to finish this point, though, Matt, of all the impressive things Denny Hamlin has done in his career, the last 2 weeks going from worst to first and winning both of them has really wowed me.
Yeah, he's never been slow, has he? As you say, winning in his rookie season, all those race wins. But he's really flowering, late bloomer in this portion of his career. You mentioned 7 wins around here. He had another one too, but lost it.
Yeah.
Thanks to the old tape under the decals win that he lost. So be another one in his pocket there if he had one. Gibbs has finally cleared Chase Briscoe for 4th.
Gibbs running in the 4th position after making that pass. As you can see the running order on your screen, and we'll flash up the full running order from first to last for you, taking you back from Kyle Larson, the leader, to Casey Mears making another start, running some 28 seconds off the lead in the Beard Motorsports team. Mears, a former pole winner here at Pocono, Seth, back in 2004.
I'll tell you what, there was a time there in that summer of 2004, that 41 car was, I mean, well, you wouldn't call it a race-winning car, but whoa, it was pretty, he had his decent moments in that car.
Yep, he did. And that's why you tune in to the Ultimate Sports Network and JB Motorsports, because I have a nugget about the driver running 30 seconds off the lead in last. Casey Mears running last.
Yeah. I need to see Prime try that.
That's why you tune in, folks. Shane Van Gisbergen off the bottom of turn 3 to the inside of Darrell Wallace Jr. as they come up out of the 3rd corner down the main straightaway, and Wallace with that Toyota power will pull back ahead of Van Gisbergen. This is 29th and 30th on the racetrack.
Yeah, indeed. So, been a good couple of weeks for SVG. Michigan didn't quite go his way, and this probably earmarked on the calendar as one where we won't see much of him, but
Come on,
the
Matt,
next
call the
couple of
race.
weeks,
Come on, Matt, call the race from this camera angle. I know you can.
it might be all about Shane Van Gisbergen for the next couple of weeks as cars go round the triangle from this Goodyear blink camera. I can't see who it is from this far away, or etc. Whatever the line was from Indianapolis and the radio call all those years ago. Here are the leaders that are approaching turn one. I can tell who those two are, and it's now 2 seconds. It's gone back up again, the gap at the front of the field between Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin now on lap number 14. And because it's such a big track, and we talked about stage flipping, etc., normally by the time we get to lap 14, there'd be traffic looming on the horizon, especially for a leader that's stretched it out this far. But even with Casey Mears running off the back of the field, it's much clean air on the nose of the 5.
Indeed it is. But Larson on a Sunday afternoon stroll by 2 seconds. His lead now over Denny Hamlin as both those cars work their way towards the bottom, towards the normal groove through turn 3, and they're set to complete yet another lap.
Larson, as I mentioned in the grid, has never won here at Pocono. Obviously, back in 2021, he was, 2020 rather, he was 1 corner away.
It was 2021.
Oh, it was 21. Thank you. He
was 2020. He didn't race. Period. Except after COVID.
Indeed. So yes, 2021. He was within 1 corner of victory here. Seth and I on the call of that on our in our past life. That was one of the more stunning things you've ever seen coming to the final corner, which, as Seth mentioned, is indeed turn 3 here at Pocono. Even through all the excitement, a 4th corner has not been added to this racetrack. So
I was going to say, where did they put the chicane in that I haven't been told about to make it 5 corners?
Yes, the conversation of 5 corners around here starting this week, thanks to Dirty Mo Media, of people saying there's 2 corners in turn 1, and then even some people jumped on and said, well, there's 2 in turn 3 as well. It's 6 turns. Anyway, halfway through.
Leave it to that group. Now everybody and their mother thinks this is going to be a 5-turn racetrack.
Halfway through stage 1. Yeah, indeed. Halfway through stage 1. I'll leave you in the hands of Matt White and Seth Eaves for a moment. Matt, take it away and do what you can with an onboard shot.
Just like non-Cup Series drivers shouldn't be allowed in the Hall of Fame. Here is Denny Hamlin, certainly a Cup Series driver, and he is in 2nd position. Just clipping the gap back down, Seth, at the line last time, it was back down to 1.6.
Indeed, it is 1.66. So he has cut about 4/10 off the lead in that King's Hawaiian machine. Again, both these cars just running smooth and solid. And that weather, again, it's not overly dark, but it's not overly bright either. So, again, 16 laps complete here at Pocono, the NASCAR Cup Series, part of a big day on Ultimate Sports Media. Later tonight, 2 different streams for your choosing. The Ivory Coast against Ecuador in the World Cup. And the Stanley Cup Finals as the Carolina Hurricanes look to clinch the Cup on enemy territory in Las Vegas tonight against the Golden Knights. Should be a fun night of sports. Should be a good day here at the racetrack, Matt White. And right now, Kyle Larson's lead is now down to 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, and hopefully we can get all 400 of our miles in before the rain, which has brought the start time up, is due in town. Hopefully that shouldn't be a problem for us. Massive helicopter being parked off to the outside, Army helicopter being parked off to the side of turn 2 there, I noticed on that long shot. The tunnel turn here at the racetrack. No guesses on a postcard for the reason why.
I was going to say, let's bring JT in. He can explain why it's called a tunnel turn. That was a thing he picked up while listening to Mike Bagley say that a couple years ago. I'll have him explain it for you at some time. Battle for third's raging.
Yeah, Ty Gibbs has raced down Daniel Suarez here, has left Chase Briscoe by the tune of 3+ seconds behind after their battle that we commented on. And now Gibbs is right onto the back of Daniel Suarez, who's been one of the standouts of the season so far, getting that win at Charlotte a couple of weeks back as well. Seth, they're with you in turn 3.
Yeah, good battle here as Gibbs is within about a car length of Suarez exiting turn number 3. Suarez, though, able to lengthen out the advantage for a second. Real quick, Bubba, we mentioned Darrell Wallace Jr. back at the 28th position. Gives me a good time. Congratulations to our friend, our former colleague, Daryl Kinsey Jr. on his recent life accomplishment, getting married yesterday. Congratulations,
Yeah,
DKJ.
Congratulations to DK and Miriam, the happy couple. It would probably make their weekend if Bubba could get up and get a win.
Oh, yeah.
This afternoon. That would be something, wouldn't it? As this battle for third place hots up, Ty Gibbs right now underneath the rear spoiler of Daniel Suarez.
It's a good battle here. A former Gibbs driver and a current Gibbs driver going into turn 3. Gibbs really draws a beat on Suarez as Suarez went up the track just a little bit. Gibbs will try to reel him in. He's got a great run off of 3, and he should be able to perform a slingshot here on the main straightaway. We'll see. I thought so, but evidently no. He's going to stay tucked in behind Suarez as they approach turn number 1.
And in our best Soccer Saturday impression, goal Germany. 2-1 in Houston. And Gibbs will complete the pass by the looks of things on Suarez, who was a little bit loose coming out of turn 3, and Gibbs with a little hand out the window to say thank you for not racing me too hard in turn 1. Ty Gibbs up to 3rd, and Germany back in front in Houston against Curacao.
Yep, action from Group E, of course, in the World Cup. Just now seeing the goal. Nice header there. Trying to pick it out. 15 with the goal there for the Germans. So they lead it by 2-1 over Curacao, and it's Kyle Larson whose lead is now less than a second over Denny Hamlin at Pocono in the Great American Getaway 400.
Yeah, Hamlin has closed in here on Larson. 10 to go in this first stage. So getting towards the end of it, 30 laps in it. Schlotterbeck, the goal scorer for Germany, by the way.
Okay.
So someone I sort of half recognised, but I didn't want to call it before I was sure. So the lead is coming down. We've got a new third place man. It's all changed in the last couple of laps here. And here's a battle. Tyler Reddick about to lose 11th place to Zane Smith, Seth, by the looks of things, in turn 2.
Zane Smith, there's a lot of drivers. I've been wanting to get on this that have seen the last few weeks to have really kind of been making inroads. We mentioned, Jones, of course, has made runs. Daniel Suarez, of course, he won the 600. That team continues to improve greatly. And then there's another one, Zane Smith. He and that team have really made some gains in the last few weeks.
It's been an impressive run for Smith over the last month or so, and it looks like it's continuing here up into 11th place in the early stages. Denny Hamlin has got his hooks into the back of Kyle Larson. They've had a run in at this racetrack before, let's not forget these two, a few years back. 22, I believe that was. And looks like Hamlin here is ranging up to see if he can have a fight for the lead.
They go back into turn number 3, and Denny Hamlin gets to within a car length or two of Kyle Larson. Hamlin has really done a good job of methodically chasing him down. Matthew Owens, I believe he's back. Pick it up on the main straightaway.
He's taken multiple car lengths a lap out of this gap, and now he's right on the back of Larson. Now, Matt told you earlier, everyone can go these 30 laps in the first stage on fuel. That is true. But, Matt, we still might see some stage flipping going on if you're within a certain amount of time of the leader, so you don't have to make a stop during the stage caution. We'll talk about that as we go on, but Larson and Hamlin continue to ride nose to tail for the lead. They race to turn 2, Seth.
They do race into that number 2 corner, and it is Hamlin trying to reel Larson in as they head down that short stretch and approach turn number 3. It is Larson by a couple of car lengths over Denny Hamlin as Hamlin continues to try and chase him down. But Kyle Larson is still your race leader on the exit of turn 3.
Back to the main straightaway, Hamlin running in second, where he's finished the last 2 Pocono races at. In fact, Matt, the last 3 Pocono races, Denny Hamlin has finished second, and first.
Well, he'd like to continue that trend, wouldn't he, of second, first. If he can make that happen. He gets right underneath the back of Larson here. They're just about to catch Casey Mears, who's a little bit up the road, and 51 seconds back of the leader. So that's to give you an idea of how long a lap takes here and how much time you need to have in your pocket to make sure you can get your pit stop done and get out in front of the leaders if and when the time comes shortly at the end of the stage.
Right on. So it's Larson by about 2 car lengths as they approach turn number 3, keeps his lead. Hamlin trying to chase Larson down. Hamlin drifts up the track just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some clean air on the nose of that Toyota so he can get a good run off of 3, but Larson has stiff-armed him away on this lap. 6 to go in stage number 1. Don't see these two, don't envision seeing these two flip the stage, Matt, but you never know.
No, indeed so. You'd probably think that these two are going to run this out for the stage victory, and that'd be decent for Denny Hamlin, of course, as he tries to run down Tyler Reddick in the points standings, and Reddick isn't going to score a stage point unless they stay out and people in front pit, and Reddick stays out. At the moment, it doesn't look like he's going to score any stage points here at the end of stage 1.
Yeah, the lap car of Casey Mears is right in front of these leaders, and Hamlin about as close as he's been to Larson on this opening run. Hamlin draws to within a car length. Larson, though, good drive at the center of the corner.
Oh, but he's going to have to check up for Casey Mears, and here comes Hamlin, to the inside and across the line. Hamlin with a nose in front. He played that extremely well, using the Casey Mears car as a pick, and Denny Hamlin has just led a lap at Pocono for the 27th time in his career. This is his 37th Pocono start.
It's a pretty incredible stat, and a little bit disappointed from Larson there. You would assume he would have seen that coming, but Hamlin clearly did. He read it well and gets the lead. First of the stoppers on pit road, Alex Bowman in the 48.
Bowman down and away. Hamlin now the race leader over Kyle Larson. As we get this great shot of the 48 car kind of pit road. Now back to the race, and Denny Hamlin is your race leader by about 3 car lengths, and Cliff Daniels might be calling Kyle Larson in, or will he?
Well, we'll see if they decide to flip this stage or not. We'll see if Bowman stays on the lead lap from where he was.
Why we showed him getting up like that if we wasn't going to pit.
It looks like Bowman might just stay on the lead lap, Matt. Yep, he will.
He will. Yeah, Cliff Daniels looked fairly aggravated, didn't he, in that brief clip that we got of him there. But and Tyler Reddick isn't going to score any stage points because he is on his way very slowly. It seems like a crawl at the speeds they go around this racetrack down pit road. And the Long John Silver's 38, Zane Smith also in down and away for him.
So Reddick and Smith choosing to flip this stage. They feel confident from where they were running that they will not lose a lap to the leaders by making this stop. All of this to be done because now these drivers that pit here at the end of this stage, what we call flipping the stage, they do not have to make a pit stop for tires and fuel during the stage caution, so they're giving up these stage points, possible stage points, for track position at the start of the next stage. Hamlin comes around to lead his 3rd lap of the day, Matt. That means he's just 7 laps shy of 900 laps led for his career around this racetrack.
Yeah, some absolutely ridiculous numbers. Ryan Blaney in the Ryan Newman throwback, a little bit slow on the left-hand side. Ryan Blaney pit stop issue, took that off your bingo card. He's down and away. John Hunter Nemechek in as well. He would have been one of our ones to watch if we'd got them done for the pre-race show for you, but he is clear in the Pine Barker 42.
All right, so a bit of a traffic jam here. Eric Jones and William Byron side by side going into that number 3 corner. A good drive by the 43 of Jones. Hamlin still leads. Let's see who's going to come in off of 3 this time. Doesn't look like anybody.
Yep, no one can pit now. Hamlin has started the penultimate lap of the stage, so
right.
Pit road is closed. So all the stage flipping is complete. And in the 4 laps since he's taken the lead, Matt, Hamlin has muscled out to a large lead.
Yeah, 1.5 seconds at the line, exactly 1.5 seconds at the line. Last time around for Denny Hamlin, and he doesn't have to worry about traffic in this last lap and a half towards the end of the stage. So all things straight and true, Seth, it's going to be another 10 points in the pocket of Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin is surging in the summer. There's no question about that. As he works his way through turns 2 and 3 for the final time in this stage, at least. Denny Hamlin on his way to a stage victory. Meanwhile, good battle for stage points here, but the stage is, well, I just put a Marty Reed. It's coming to 1 to go. That's right. I wondered why we were looking away from Hamlin, but Matthew.
Yeah, that was my fault. sort of half teed you up a lap too early, probably. But here we go. It's now over 2 seconds, as you say, at the line. Gibbs on his way to third from Briscoe, Busher, Suarez, Byron, Jones, Logano, and Austin Hill at the moment. That's the top 10. Good for Austin Hill to get a top 10 in the first stage for RCR if that stays as it is. Now, Seth, off of 2 for Denny Hamlin on his way towards 10 championship points.
Indeed. So here is that King's Hawaiian Bites, number 11 of Denny
Penalty
Hamlin.
Germany.
And, oh boy. So Denny Hamlin working his way out of turn number 2. All right, turn number 3. Smooth, steady as she goes. He's looking for the stage win. He's going to get it, Matthew.
Green and white checkered flag waving at the flag stand. Denny Hamlin scores his 4th stage win of the season as he takes it from Kyle Larson, Ty Gibbs, Chase Briscoe, Chris Busher, Suarez, Byron, Jones, Logano, and Austin Hill. The rest of the points-paying positions as Logano and Hill flash across the stripe here, and that will now put out the yellow flag with the top 10 finishers of the stage getting the green and white checkered flag. The yellow now waves. Yes, indeed, we brought Benjamin Franklin and Betsy Ross back from the dead. We brought out the Ouija board for the command to be given today. Well done, Betsy. Well done, Benji, as they come back to their home states and give the command for a NASCAR race. Sure. 30 laps complete. Stage 1 in the books. Caution is out. Denny Hamlin, the stage winner. And I will turn it over to Matt White. Very early in the proceedings today, Matt, to be doing this segment, but on this day in racing history and birthdays on this June the 14th.
Yep, while stage 1 was on running there, they've managed to get the Ouija board up to me in turn 2 to tell you all about on this day in racing. As we always start with the birthdays, not so many on the list of note today, he says, padding because Kai Havertz is about to step up to take this German penalty. Thomas Annunziata, who's got some starts in the Grand National Series, his birthday today, so happy birthday to Thomas. And Andy Soucek, former Formula 2 champion, his birthday today as well. 3-1 Germany. Havertz converts in the 4th minute of first half stoppage time. Races on this day last year at Iowa Speedway, 2 years ago, sorry, at Iowa Speedway. Conor Zilic was winning an ARCA race there, the Atlas 150. One of his many ARCA wins that season. Back in 2020, here's the thing, there was a Homestead Miami Speedway race in June for the Cup Series because, of course, we were finding our way out of the global caution period that was the spring. The Dixie Vodka 400 won by the man that's just won the first stage today, Denny Hamlin. Also on the list to mention, Kurt Busch won a Cup Series race at Michigan on this day in 2015, the Quicken Loans 400. And on that very same day, Porsche were victorious at Le Mans. Earl Bamber, Nick Tandy, and Nico Hulkenberg on his Formula One break as a current Formula One driver went to Le Mans and won. Also on that same day, Joseph Newgarden won on a road course, a rare thing now in the IndyCar Series, the Honda Indy Toronto. 2014, the Drive for Lineman 200 at Gateway in the Truck Series was won by Bubba Wallace Jr. Nationwide race on that same day was at Michigan. The Ollie's Bargain Outlet 250 won by Paul Menard.
Ugh.
That was the noise I was kind of hoping to hear. 2009, Martin won a Cup race at Michigan, the Lifelock 400.
Oh boy!
No kidding. Oh,
they're all
God.
coming out today. Oh boy, there's spots of rain on Denny Hamlin's onboard camera. The Le Mans race of that year was won by Peugeot, David Brabham, Martinet, and Alex Verts.
Oh,
Joey
as
Logano
Lee Diffie always used to
Tucky.
call it. When Lee Diffie called Le Mans over here, I always loved how he... Peugeot!
The 2008 Kentucky NASCAR Nationwide Series race, the Maya 300, was won on this day by Joey Logano.
Oh my goodness, that was the night that he won it. What was he, Seth? 17, 18? It was the record for
that was like
winner.
that was like his third start, and he had just gotten cleared for his age,
Yeah.
and it was his first win. And well, the rest, they say, is history. To all the losers and haters of his, of which there are many, including one that works with us. But that this isn't directed at the Matts of the world this is more directed at the people who hate him just because he won in a playoff format. That's what that comment was directed at. If you have there's legitimate reasons not to like him, and that's fine. I'm not mad at those people. It's the
cycling up the list a little bit, all the way to 1998, where another Mark Martin Cup win at Michigan happened. It was the Miller Lite 400 that year for Mark. That's what I was looking for. Was a Grand Prix on this list. We have to go all the way back to 1992, apart from the one that's happened today. I'll tell you about that at the end of stage 2 for a Formula One race. Gerhard Berger winning at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, the Molson Grand Prix of Canada that year, 1992.
Thank you,
Same
Matt.
day, Alan Kowicki won right here at Pocono in the Champion Sparkplug 500. On the same day in 1987, Tim Richmond was a winner at Pocono in the Miller High Life 500, should I say. On that very same day, over at Portland, Bobby Rahal was the winner in the kart series, and Derek Bell, Al Holbert, and Hans Joachim Stuck were the winners of Le Mans. Another Le Mans race on this day, 1970, was Richard Atwood and Hans Herman, the winners. And that pretty much concludes on this day in racing, which is aptly timed because pits are open.
Yep, pit road will be opened up, and for the drivers that did not pit at the end of that stage, they'll come down pit road here, led by Denny Hamlin. Let's go down to pit road.
That's right. Ty Gibbs will pit from P3. The last couple laps on the green. Crew chief Tyler Allen telling him, we're not going to catch the leader, so save from some fuel for this stop. They're going to take 4, go in the jack. The balance pretty good. Just got a little free there at the end, Trevor.
Yeah, Kyle Larson coming into his stall, lost that lead from a tight race car. They're going to make some changes for the tunnel turn. Ride quality's great on this car. Kyle Larson asking what color car to look for as the set 51 comes around him, Marty.
Stage 1 for Chase Briscoe. It said he was too free on the exit of 1 and the exit of 3. That's where he was really losing his time. Trademark 11 team in that stage 1 with that long run pace. Denny Hamlin said, I started a little bit too free, but I did certainly like our car at the very end of that run.
Hamlin wins the race off of pit road from Larson, Briscoe, Byron, and Suarez. We will reset the full running order for you when we get ready for the restart. Ty Gibbs was not one of those names you heard me read off. Terrible pit stop down there, Matt.
Yeah, they dropped the jack on the right-hand side before the rear was done up. It was on, but loose, and they had to usher the jackman back. Then there was a problem with the left rear as well because of that. So all over the place, the 54 pit stop there.
So Gibbs will be well down the running order for this restart. By the way, only because of the segment that we just had, and only because it is the season, and I saw it on my social media feed earlier, on this day in World Cup history, June 14th, 2014, it would be a day, that Matt loves to relive. Costa Rica came from behind to beat Uruguay 3-1, and Italy beat England in Manaus 2-1.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was at stupid o'clock English time. Daniel Sturridge got the goal for England, but Marchisio with a pretty good goal, and then of course it had to be Mario Balotelli who got the winner.
And
the goal scorers that eventually cost England that World Cup in that time in that climate in the English game, could it have been anybody else other than Mario Balotelli and Luis Suarez?
Well, indeed so.
And just for the sake of, because what else do we talk about around here? That Costa Rica-Uruguay match on ABC, called by John Champion. What
Indeed.
A call by John on the Duarte goal to make it 2-1. Oscar Duarte, thank you. That is the name I was trying to get to in my mind. Oh my God, I love John Champion so much. I really do. I just love him. He is calling the game later today between Netherlands-Japan, the same game that Martin Tyler is calling on World. Are you kidding me? The same match, John Champion and Martin Tyler? Royalty.
Yes.
And
I
who
mean,
do we,
long
and,
for the-
so I'm almost dreading to ask who we have here. I mean, I'm sure it's. I mean, unless it's you know who, I'm sure it's someone that's good, but it's not like those two.
long ago, the days of ITV having Clive Tilsley, Peter Drury, and John Champion on Champions League duty.
Listen to this. To add to those two, it's Darren Fletcher.
Oh shit! Oh, I'm sorry. Crap. But anyway, yeah. But
Then you have the opportunity to do his Fletcher noise. You know the one, the Fletcher noise every time there's a goal scored.
So anyway, Matthew. So again, I know you laugh and and make a comment whenever I make these comparisons. So basically, what Matt described is the British version of what I told you about the 8-year stretch where ABC's top 3 college football voices were Keith Jackson, Brent Musburger, and Brad Nessler.
Well, indeed.
We found the equivalent.
We found the equivalent. Ian Dark on Germany, and as some people call him, Caraco at the current moment.
God almighty.
And by some people, I
Thank
mean
you.
Wayne Gretzky at the draw.
I couldn't tell you who's on ITV, but I will try and see if it pops up at the
I
start.
think it's Seth Hutchinson because I saw him on
is.
his Instagram story post walking up to Houston. Which, by the way, I saw Graham Potter was wearing a cowboy hat during a Sweden training. And I asked Matthew this: Can we please get Can we get it to happen and then get a picture of it of Martin Tyler in a cowboy hat since he's doing the Jerry games?
I know, Seth, that you're a big Seb admirer. He's been one of the hardest working commentators this summer because he literally was doing women's Euros qualifiers just before the World Cup started on ITV.
Well, I'm an admirer, but not to the level of Mr. Owens here. And I must say also that Matthew and I both wondering what the heck happened. Why is Daniel Mann not on this tournament on any capacity?
That's a disgrace.
That's a joke.
It's a disgrace. Seb Hutchinson.
Joke is Kurt Busch.
Thank you, Kurt. Seb Hutchinson did South Korea, Czechia, and now doing Germany and Curacao. Yes, Wayne Gretzky at the draw, if you missed it, called Curacao Caraco and called Jordan Jordan.
And that would stick.
I just don't understand.
Okay,
anyway.
So the Caraco thing, while not defensible, I could somewhat understand. The Jordan thing made no effing sense. Because you are linked with an athlete of that same name, and he pronounces it that way. Indeed. Jordan.
Well, anyway, the Michael Jordan car starting on the front row here as Tyler Reddick and John Hunter Nemechek come to the green flag on the front row, and we get Stage 2 underway. We are in control here as Stage 2 begins at Pocono. Double file at the front of the field. Reddick and Nemechek nose to nose. Ryan Blaney and Zane Smith in row 2. 4 wide further back as they have to all tunnel into turn 1.
Daniel Suarez was tunneling underneath William Byron there at turn 1 to make it 3 wide, and it looks like he may have got through. They've all cleared turn 1 for the moment. Still side by side for the lead between JHN and Reddick, and Nemechek will have the inside line heading towards turn 2, but Reddick keeps it pinned up on the outside.
Side, John Hunter Nemechek and Tyler Reddick as they go down the short straight. Reddick might have the advantage on the outside, though Nemechek stays tight. Now he's got the slim edge heading to turn 3. Reddick, though, trying to fight back. Good racing between these two similarly painted cars.
John Hunter Nemechek has never led a lap at Pocono, and he still hasn't. Tyler Reddick gets to the line and nose in front of him. Now they side draft each other down the straightaway, and behind trying to get a double slipstream is Zane Smith, who creeps in on this battle.
Still side by side for the lead. Reddick threw it in there on the outside to try and keep in front. That might be his detriment coming out the corner, though. They'll still be side by side. Looks like actually Reddick be clear. What will Zane Smith do? Picking up a double slipstream. What lane will he choose? Sits in behind them as they head towards turn 2. And it's still side by side out front.
He takes the smart choice and backs off for the present time. Now Reddick has the slim advantage one more time. But now Smith wanted to do the double slips, double pass, but Nemechek blocked him. And that hurt Smith and helped Nemechek. Reddick, though, powers back on the outside.
Nemechek nearly had the left side tires on the grass through the apex of 3. Reddick again will get to the line just a nose ahead of Nemechek. Now he'll force him to driver's left. Nemechek's going to throw an elbow back at him. Ryan Blaney, who got by Zane Smith for third, wants to take the lead from these two, who continue to horse around.
Lap 3 of being side by side at the front of the field. It hasn't given up yet. So what will Blaney choose to do now in third? Reddick chases Nemechek down the back straightaway to the inside. They've got to get back up for the corner and do so. And it's still side by side through turn 2.
Amazing action. John Hunter Nemechek, give him some credit. He is holding his own with a man who has been the force in NASCAR Cup Series racing in 2026. Power move inside. He tries to clear Reddick. Reddick, though, not giving an inch.
Nemechek tried to slide up, couldn't do it. Reddick ahead of Nemechek now off of turn 3. Slices down middle of the racetrack. Big run for Ryan Blaney from behind. Denny Hamlin forcing his way through traffic. He's alongside Zane Smith for the 4th position as Reddick finally clear out in front, Matt. 10 consecutive corners side by side for the lead. Was just one corner too much to ask.
Ooh. And Blaney had to get out of the throttle there in the middle of turn 1 to not take himself and JHN out of it. He will now be under threat from Hamlin. As you mentioned, he cleared Zane Smith. So Denny Hamlin will go to the inside of Ryan Blaney here in turn 2. And will give him a little bit of the elbow through the corner, but Blaney holds tough on the outside.
He does. So Blaney and Hamlin side by side for that 3rd position. Then you got Zane Smith back there in 5th. Chase Briscoe running 6th. Then William Byron, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, and Austin Cindric.
Field clears turn 3, and now Tyler Reddick, the championship leader, out in front. John Hunter Nemechek trying to stay within arm's distance. Here's Zane Smith turning the wheel purposely in a straight line from right to left, and he dives to the inside of both cars, 11 and 12.
Zane was making the fall from 5th corners up down the straight there, and now he's getting sideways. Coming out of the corner, and he'll slide all the way down and make fairly heavy contact with the inside wall. What a shame for the man that we were saying in stage 1 has been having a great run of things recently, and just perhaps overdriving in a little bit in his attempt to get back up into a podium position. And he has hit the wall fairly hard there with the front of that Mustang.
Such a good run at Charlotte and Nashville in back-to-back weeks, and was having a good run at Michigan last week until he had a flat tire in the second half of the race. That cost him a good finishing position. It also put him down 22nd in the championship when he was making a run at being a part of the chase picture. Poor finish at Michigan last week, not getting the finish he deserved, Matt, and he won't get it today either. That car just snapped all at once underneath Hamlin.
Yeah, and just couldn't get it woed up on its way down to the inside wall, which was safer barriered a few years ago. Much talk about safer barriers in the NASCAR world this week. But it looks like that's going to be day done, I would assume, for Zane Smith.
Well, that's a shame for Zane, who had made that aggressive move at the end of the straightaway, as we talked about, to try to go 3 wide with Hamlin and Blaney. He got around Blaney and was to the inside of Hamlin. And, well, that'll be it for Zane, who will be the first retirement of the day. That will be a 1 championship point day for Zane Smith, and that's going to really hurt, as he really had brought himself into the picture to try to make a run at making the chase, which perhaps he still could, but these last 2 finishes will do him no favors at all. So, under caution for the second time, first time for cause this afternoon at the Pocono Raceway. By the way, while we're under this caution, we would normally give you our upcoming schedule, and we will do so. No buttons for JT to press in the background for the upcoming schedule, whatever will we do.
That's no fun.
Yeah, I know. But
Thank you, JT.
before I do that, since JT is on the mic and around, a huge set of props to our guy JT, who had to come in emergency service last night to call Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Nothing like your first call of a sport to beat the championship decider, and for it to have been the New York Knicks winning their first title in 53 years. JT, we appreciate you as always, but that was unexpected. But thank you for stepping in. You're awesome.
Nothing like throwing me in the deep end, Oracle.
No, deep end of fire. Why not?
To be fair, Matthew, at least he did get a few seconds in of March Madness, at least, which included a baby on the court.
He did. JT, awesome as always, and now he's back at it after what, 4 hours of sleep? 5 hours?
Hold on.
Like 7?
Oh,
7 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's coronation for him.
He'll be good to go for the next 42 hours.
Matthew, you will be glad to know that there was a couple of quotes used, like, we press on like a lean now, money quarter was used, and then with around 3 minutes left to go, it was down the stretch we go.
See, he's been on all season long, and clearly he's learned things. I can't say he's learned things from a good person to learn things from, but he has some things.
The boards.
No, you learned it from a great person to get things from, and Germany have made it 4.
Yeah, who was that? Somebody.
Musiala.
Okay, very good.
And to answer our question from the last caution, it is the same team that did the game in the South Korea game the other night. Seth Hutchinson and Andros Townsend on the call for ITV.
Very good.
And Matt White.
Andros Townsend, I followed his whole career basically. Now he's an analyst. No, I do not like that.
You will be glad to know, Matt White, that there was an attempt at calling a Jordan Clarkson 3 with Clarkson, but he unfortunately missed it.
Very good. Power.
Wesley, to answer your question in chat, it's Ultimate Sports Media, and you should find it.
Yes, Ultimate Sports Media Network here and JBM. We're on both channels today.
I love how JT basically is on JBM telling people to follow us.
Yeah, just
great, isn't it?
I absolutely love that.
Phil just got one to go.
I swear, before this platform, before we all, go our separate ways, hopefully for it'll be a long time before it ever happens, but before it's all said and done, he is going to be with us full time, I feel. or at least he's going to try like all heck to do it.
He might be full-time BBC or ITV before he does that, but maybe maybe not BBC with the comments that he's made about the BBC this week, but anyway.
Oh, yeah. And shout out to ITV making their set orange and blue last night.
That was really good.
Australia-Turkey game.
That was really good. Well done. I'm sure they did not come over here expecting to be in the middle of a Knicks celebration.
Of course, no, yeah, forgotten about that.
Here's the thing, Matthew. You say that. Like, do you mean like a year ago or 2 years ago, mate, when the World Cup was first announced, they weren't expecting it? Because surely someone had to be telling them coming prior to this, hey, the basketball team here is going to win a championship. It might get crazy. Just a heads up.
Yeah. Coming to green.
Then again, it is ITV who employ none of the 3 brilliant men Matt mentioned on a full-time basis anymore.
Coming to green, the vibrant blue Chevrolet Corvette pace car comes off to pit road. Tyler Reddick and John Hunter Nemechek on the front row. They spent 3 laps side by side for the lead on the last restart. They take the green flag here with Reddick to driver's right. Nemechek on the inside does not get away all that well, and it's Denny Hamlin pushing Reddick to the lead in turn 1.
Reddick this time will clear momentarily. Hamlin up the track from third. So it's going to be side by side for second between Hamlin and Blaney. Nemechek does get in behind Reddick this time, but will power back with a bit of slipstream. Will he have an attempt at an overtake towards turn 2? Not close enough. Reddick, Nemechek, Hamlin, William Byron, the first 4, Seth.
Yeah, William Byron has been a little bit quiet here recently in the racing, but he has had a good run here today. But it's Tyler Reddick at the front. Side by side further back, Eric Jones to the inside of Chase Briscoe. And meanwhile, Ryan Blaney trying to fend off Chase Elliott.
Speaking of Byron, he really needs a good run. He's been outside the top 15 in 5 of the last 8 races. It just hasn't been there for Rudy Fugle. William Byron in the 24 team entering this race 12th in the championship standings for the team, Matt, that won the regular season championship last year.
Yeah, indeed so, but perhaps a corner is being turned here with 3 of the Hendrick cars inside the top 7. Chase Elliott 6th, Kyle Larson 7th, just behind Byron in the queue. So looks like maybe Hendrick have worked it out, and maybe a little bit, a bit early to say in the day. We'll see how it all plays out throughout the rest of the afternoon.
2 Hendrick cars nose to tail for 6th place. That's Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson as they go side by side into the corner. Meanwhile, a lot of side by side action further back in the middle of that hootenanny includes Christopher Bell.
Yeah, Bell trying to race through a lot of pain. Oh, and 3 wide and into the wall. A couple of cars, and down the racetrack goes Shane Van Gisbergen, getting clipped by Josh Berry. Spinning and crashing multiple cars across the start-finish line goes Brad Keselowski and Darrell Wallace Jr. And there are multiple cars spinning, crashing, careening out of control, and collecting damage. Joey Logano is in there with damage. Logano 1 point outside of the chase. Coming in is damaged.
Really?
There's Connor Zilich, because of course he's involved in something. Oh, and there's heavy damage to Keselowski as he tries to limp his way back. He'd be better off just turning around and going up pit road. Oh, wow. Multi-car crash. It really was, Seth. You were talking about all the 2 and 3 wide racing out of turn 3. And Seth, it looked like Austin Hill just to the inside of 3 wide, washed up, and into his old friend from the Grand National Series, Shane Van Gisbergen.
Yeah, and then Van Gisbergen went into Josh Berry, and then Berry clipped the wall, and then into Van Gisbergen, then Logano nowhere to go, and Wallace a helpless bystander too.
Brad was clear of the initial accident, and he caught the spinning Wallace, and then Joey Logano got into the back of Connor Zilich.
Yeah, someone just went through the eye of the hurricane to miss that. I'm not sure who that was. Be fitting if it was Carson Hocevar that went through the eye of the hurricane.
They were close to the sand barrels on the end of the pit wall there.
So Austin Hill saw an opportunity because Van Gisbergen was already washing up to the inside of Josh Berry there. So Hill saw the opening, went for it, and then he just lost the nose of his car and washed up into those 2. And that's what started the whole chain reaction. You're right, Matt. Brad Keselowski had the initial crash, missed, and then just got caught up in it. Also, as I mentioned, Matt, if there's going to be an accident in the Cup Series these days, Connor Zilich is going to be around it and caught up in it.
Bell got a piece of the wall as well, as he was trying to avoid it. It was, I think, Todd Gilliland that coming back up the racetrack that hit Wallace and spun him around. And as you say, Brad Keselowski had absolutely nowhere to go. And
whatever bad luck voodoo bit Zilich in that Grand National finale at Phoenix has followed him over to Cup in 2026. It has just been a nightmare of a rookie season for him.
I mean, he's finished last in the last 3 races. He won't today because of Zane Smith's early crash, but it won't be much better.
I think he might be okay, relatively speaking, in terms of damage. He's better off than Keselowski, let's put it that way. So,
yeah. Well, I know Matthew doesn't like this term used a lot, but I'm going to use it. I think you just chalk that down to a racing accident.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, Austin Hill took the opportunity with SVG and Josh Berry wandering their way up the hill, but there isn't much of a hill here at Pocono, and dived to the gap, and that was multiple lines coming together at the same point.
No hills around here, but we are on top of a mountain.
Go up the hill.
So yellow is out, and this does tend to happen a lot at Pocono. We'll get a lot of green flag running at Pocono, but boy, all it takes is one yellow, and then we get a lot more yellows bunched in together. And that's, if we're going to get multiple yellows all at a time here, Matt, that changes your fuel number around here, and we've got what looks to be about a third of the field on pit road here.
Yeah, we had a good chunk in last time. We didn't really comment on it, but there was a few takers on the last caution, the Zane Smith one. So Larson in, Hamlin in, Reddick in. 2 tyres for Denny Hamlin. He's going to lose the little race off pit road to Tyler Reddick. Elliott, Byron also pitted, Blaney, Busher, Bowman, and Cindric. So a good chunk of the front-running cars taking the opportunity to make a pit stop here.
So caution out again. Multi-car accident. And you're right, JT. Shane Van Gisbergen just kept getting pushed down there by Josh Berry. You were wondering if we were going to have another Jeb Burton-like accident into the attenuator.
Yeah, officially involved in the wreck, Shane Van Gisbergen, Josh Berry, Joe Logano, Keselowski, Gregson, Wallace, Zillage, Bell, and Hill. So for the people asking in the JBM chat, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which I believe on the severe crash prediction center, that is around, it's close to the big one. It might not be the big one, but it is close to said big one.
And it's a number of drivers at or around the chase bubble, Matt. Darrell Wallace Jr. 11th in the standings, Shane Van Gisbergen 14th, Brad Keselowski 15th, Joey Logano 17th.
Yeah, it could be big for all of those guys. Logano got a black eye on the front of the 22, the amount of tape and things they put around the right front corner of that car. Talked about Christopher Bell being Captain Hook. Looks like Joey Logano's wearing the eye patch.
With 9 cars involved, it is the moderate one. Officially.
Of course it is.
We go live to the Severe Crash Center database and JT.
Speaking of the eye of the hurricane that a lot of drivers had to go through, tonight it's Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Carolina Hurricanes.
Are you feeling okay, Matthew?
Stanley Cup is in the building. I'm feeling marvelous. I don't know, whatever you were saying. Joey Logano's been beaten out of pit road by the pace car. Now he's just sped up to try to keep from falling a lap down. That's not going to go, Joey. No. NASCAR.
It's not going to go, Joe.
No, indeed. Game 6 tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Carolina and Vegas with the Stanley Cup in the building. It's one game for a right to play one more for Vegas. It's one game for forever for Carolina. And we'll have Game 6 for you. And also, the Calder Cup Final coming up in about an hour and a half from now on the channel, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Who is it, Matt? I know you know.
The Wolves and the Marlies.
There you go. Indeed. Toronto
We
Marlies.
promo that again tomorrow when I do Belgium, Egypt.
And Chicago Wolves. Just the amount of cross-pollination that has happened on this channel. I just having
in the last 4 days.
Yeah, having JT and Matt White talk about the Calder Cup Final is one of my favorite things that we've ever done around here. But anyway, that's coming up at 4 o'clock on the channel.
Also tonight, Ivory Coast and Ecuador.
That's right. That is right. Côte d'Ivoire makes their return to the World Cup. In 12 years it's been since they were last in it.
And boy, did they suffer a heartbreaking exit to Greece in the last minute of that group stage game as Greece went through despite not having a very good goal. I don't think they scored a single goal from open play. I think it's like they didn't score a single from. They were something weird like that, but yet they advanced. Then they lose to Costa Rica.
Didier Drogba was on that 2014 Côte d'Ivoire team.
King.
That's, yeah, I knew that would get a response out of Seth. More
did you see the other, talking of Chelsea, Seth, did you see the transfer news this afternoon from the Bridge?
About Cucurella?
Yes, going to Real Madrid.
Did see that. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, Jose Mourinho takes the Real Madrid job, but he's already bought a defender. There's an irony in there.
More 2014 World Cup talk here on the channel coming up. It's your 2014 World Cup conversation on the threes. More in a moment.
No,
2014
JT is I had the weather on the three. What was that? During a hockey game or something? What was one of those sporting events that we did recently that JT was with us for, and he did sporting weather on the threes?
Yes. Which after the festivities of Friday night, we're waiting to bring on karaoke with JT as the next segment.
Oh my God, Matt! You if only you'd have been here, you probably would have left early. But if you'd have been here Friday night,
Matt would.
Oh my God! It turned into early Saturday morning. It turned into karaoke with JT, and he was belting out bangers I didn't know he knew existed.
His playlist on Spotify is like 7,000 songs long.
Wow, thought mine was long.
That's a little bit. That's a little bit of an exaggeration. It's 1,710.
Yeah, well, you know.
Almost like my podcast list, which is 541.
Well, the wave is starting to go around NRG Stadium, and as we talked about yesterday,
as I said yesterday, which means everyone's bored.
And as we talked about yesterday with JT, we're in America. It's not the Mexican wave if it's in America.
It's not anything if this World Cup was being played in Europe, because it wouldn't happen.
The Europeans don't like the wave.
No. The typical third quarter thing at NFL games at Wembley.
All I remember is in 2008, prior to the night race at Bristol, they set a Guinness World Record for the longest continuous fan wave ever, because they did the wave around the half mile, and Jerry Punch called it. Oh, here's the wave at Thunder Valley, Bristol, Tennessee.
What? I just love that that comment. When he was at Bristol, that Bush race, it was like a David Green and Jeff Green or Mike. It was one of the, cars 3 years apart, 3 feet apart on the racetrack. I was like, "Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you."
We appreciate that. Brad Kozlowski checked and released from the Infield Care Center.
Speaking of
Germany are in behind.
Yeah, Jerry, don't forget about him with an active measuring stick at
God. It's just
measuring thing at Texas.
All right, getting ready for another restart here after a 9-car jam session. Right on the exit of turn 3 and down the main straightaway, put us under our third caution of the afternoon.
Sorry, that's very funny.
What did you say? What the heck was that laugh all about? That jump, Jarek Rubin jump scare.
Sorry, private joke.
Yeah, that's
which can't make it to air.
No, it cannot. No.
Anyway, back ready for a restart.
John Hunter Nemechek and Chase Briscoe will be on the front row. Oh my gosh, as we get ready for the restart of the Chuckle Huts 400 here at Pocono. Toyota's on the front row again. Nemechek, the control car, outside of row 1. Briscoe to his left elbow. Green flag up in the air. Nemechek gets a hard shot in the shorts from his teammate Eric Jones just in behind. And just as it was on the last restart, the outside line gets going better. Nemechek to the lead this time as he goes into turn 1 by himself.
Yeah, he will clear them. It'll be side by side for second between Briscoe and Jones. They come out of 2, side by side behind them as well, between Hocevar and Suarez, but it's John Hunter Nemechek clear of the lead. Wow, here comes Ross Chastain in the luminous green car up the inside to make it 3 wide. He gets one, which was Suarez, and he tries another on Hocevar.
Boy, I haven't mentioned him a lot. It's been a nightmare year for Ross, but he's trying to make some moves, and he could use it. But how about Carson Hocevar? Speaking of aggressive drivers, He makes the pass 3 wide further back with Cindric, Blaney, and Gibbs.
Goodness, Cindric between those two cars. Blaney to his right, Gibbs to his left. They make it out of turn 3 with no further damage. Blaney clears those two cars now as everyone tries to sort themselves out off the restart. Here's Denny Hamlin. He was on pit road under this caution, Matt. He pulls out on Chase Elliott.
Yeah, down in 12th position across the line after that round of stops. So they'll be coming back through. If this plays out somewhat, they should make it to the end here on fuel. So we'll see how it plays out with cautions and whatever, because we've had that little rash of yellow. But those guys that stopped under this previous caution should be okay to make it to the end of this stage on fuel now.
Indeed, they should. If they're almost 3 wide again, this time it's Larson, Austin, Dillon, and William Byron as they continue to bounce off each other almost. Austin Hill trying to go to the outside of Riley Herbst to gain positions. John Hunter Nemechek still the leader.
Larson and Byron elbow to elbow out of turn 3, those teammates. Now Larson falls in line back behind Byron. That's going to give a run at the back door to Ryan Blaney and a couple of others. Here's Blaney popping out of the drafting pocket. He'll try to drive his way to the inside of the Chris Buescher automobile.
Yeah, he will. They'll be side by side as they come out of 2. Byron and Larson also side by side here, just in behind Reddick, just outside the top 10. All of this just in front of Blaney and Dillon. Through turn 2 they come. Larson and Byron continue to be side by side.
Yeah, the two Hendrick teammates now absolutely battling each other, and it's Larson on the inside and Byron on the outside. Larson with the preferred line should make the pass stick, and he will. Larson to 13.
So Larson to P13. Meanwhile, a couple of cars back, Ty Gibbs drives to the inside of Austin Dillon, but Gibbs is out of the drafting line. Austin Cindric tries to cut from top to bottom. Gibbs down to throw a sledgehammer block on him. Dillon's going to stay ahead of both Gibbs and Cindric, at least for now, in 1.
Austin Cindric getting aggressive, and perhaps he needs to. With we talked about the guys that were in and around the bubble line that have had an issue so far today. Could be a good chance for Cindric to score some decent points over them. Down the back straight comes Christopher Bell and Alex Bowman side by side. Quick World Cup update. Curacao have just had the ball in the net, but ruled out for offside. It remains 4-1 Germany, and they're just about to take their hydration break in the second half.
Meanwhile, Christopher Bell battling and trying to do the best he can today. And guys, you know, I feel like today it's just more about survival on this track with his condition.
Well, you're right about that. Now, if there's silver lining that you try to look for out of this, at least it's the left wrist because of all the shifting that goes on here. It's not the right wrist, but, I mean, still, Matt, that's a heck of a challenge from that incredible hit that he took 7 days ago. And to your point, Seth, it's about surviving today, but also remember back-to-back road courses off of this race today.
Yeah, that's right. San Diego and then Sonoma. So double trip to California. So go Southern Cal and NorCal. How about that? Interesting stuff there. But yeah, back to the point. Yeah, Bell just surviving, and it's very, very difficult. To the surprise of no one, as Germany has scored a 5th, also to the surprise of no one. The surprise of no one, that was the hardest hit in the next-gen car. Bell's taken at Michigan, and you can not be surprised at that, because just looking at that was just a whammo of all whammos.
And you come to a racetrack here that's had a lot of hard hits in the past, too. Let's pick up a battle, Matt, out of turn 1. A couple of blue and white cars going at it.
Yeah, so much so they're not even releasing the data for that in terms of G-force that car hit the fence. Larson and Blaney side by side up the back straightaway, with the on-rushing Ty Gibbs giving Larson a big heave-ho as they head towards turn 2. That'll clear Kyle and put Ty to the outside of Blaney.
So Ty Gibbs to the outside of Ryan Blaney. Austin Dillon not too far back. As Blaney now dives inside on the approach to turn number 3. Will he clear Gibbs? Maybe not. Gibbs fighting back on the outside. Good battle here.
Man, we have seen a lot of cars on the inside of a side-by-side battle at turn 3 get very out of shape already in the first 150 miles of this race. Blaney was wobbling a bit through 3 that time on the inside of Gibbs. Hasn't been able to make the pass. Austin Dillon tries to cut down to the inside of those two. As ahead of them, William Byron picks up a spot, Matt, from Cole Custer.
Yep, so Byron continues forward. We saw him a little bit further than that before, but of course they pitted under the last caution. Bobbing and weaving around here, Austin Dillon getting back in line behind Ryan Blaney. Blaney's teammate Cindric next in the queue. So Dillon, the meat in the Penske sandwich as they come through turn number 2.
Indeed he is. Real quick at lap 59, your top 10. John Hunter Nemechek leads. Then it's Chase Briscoe second. Then Eric Jones, Carson Hocevar, Ross Chastain, 6 through 10. Daniel Suarez, Chase Elliott, Michael McDowell, Ryan Preece, and Denny Hamlin.
That's the top 10. John Hunter Nemechek leading laps at Pocono for the first time in his career, but he has led 17 laps over the last 2 years at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Brickyard 400. That track, of course, similar in nature in many ways to this one. Denny Hamlin on the move again, Matt.
Yep, makes a move on Ryan Preece for 9th. So Hamlin again, to the surprise of no one, has got a fast automobile today, and he's bringing Tyler Reddick with him as well. He's regular season championship combatant. He passes Preece as well, so both of those Camrys into the top 10.
By the way, Seth, that goal that you just gave us from Germany coming from Nathaniel Brown, so that's 5 goals by 5 different players from the Germans today, Mr. Eaves.
Yeah, that's what I call variety.
Matthew,
It's the spice of life.
I'm hopefully another player doesn't score, because if they did and we were doing the game, then I would have run out of scorer spaces on the graphic, because there is only space for 5 scorers. By the way, Matt, just going back, if I remember rightly, Christopher Bell said in an interview it's around 63 Gs is what he was told.
Okay, wow.
And yeah, as Matt said, they are reluctant to release the official numbers about that, but anyway, Seth?
But I do have some Curacao data for you here, and how about this? Curacao becoming the 11th different CONCACAF team to score at a World Cup. Only Africa and Europe have more teams that have scored in the competition.
Wow. Okay. My goodness.
So Seth McNugget.
There it is. Curacao, of course.
By the way, Brad Keselowski, after not having a DNF in his first 13 races, has crashed out of the last 3.
Yeah. It's a shame for Brad, who, of course, had 2 crashes last week at his home race of Michigan, which he desperately wants to win. And after RFK had really run well in the next gen era at Michigan, it was not a good weekend for them last week. So John Hunter Nemechek at the front of the field. We're about halfway home in this 65-lap second stage. We're inside the last 100 laps for the race, as you see. Nemechek comes off turn 3. He'll lead another lap. He's got a second and change on second and third place running Chase Briscoe and Eric Jones. But the running order that you see on your screen, Matt, it's a legit running order, but it's going to change because the drivers at the front, or at least the top 7, they have not stopped in this stage. But 8th place Denny Hamlin, 10th place Tyler Reddick, and some more of those guys, they have stopped in this stage, and they think they can make it on fuel. They pitted with about 40 to go in the stage.
Yeah, I think they'll be just about on the windows, so they should be fine. So yeah, the top 7 plus Michael McDowell in 9th definitely have to come. And the Hamlin group will be tight. If we get another yellow, then they should be fairly okay, but we'll have to wait and see. And Johansson Nemechek leading. Eric Jones 3rd. Another good week looking like, at the moment anyway, for Legacy Motor Club. We talked about, me and Seth said when you'd stepped away, a couple of guys having a fine run over the recent times. Suarez, Zane Smith before his crash as well. Both the Legacy cars right at the front here is a great sign.
Well, they're taking advantage of what Toyota is offering here. Toyota dominating so much of this season, as we've talked about. They've got the superior package right now, Toyota does, and Legacy Motor Club really starting to take advantage of that. And that'll certainly put a smile on the faces of the likes of Jimmy Johnson and crew, and Richard Petty, of course, who still, of course, is so tightly connected to that 43 car in that team. Change at position, Seth, in turn 2. Kyle Larson just took 14th.
Indeed he did, getting by Ty Gibbs in the process. By the way, you mentioned Nathaniel Brown. Get ready for a shocking development. Nathaniel Brown, young up-and-coming player. He plays for Eintracht Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Guess where he's set to join in the next few days?
I bet I know. Schalke.
Liverpool?
Not quite. It would be Bayern.
Would be Bayern.
Unreal.
They get them all.
Anyway.
You mentioned Jimmy Johnson there. I wonder if he's found somewhere to watch this race, because he was at Le Mans this weekend. So hopefully Jimmy has found us somewhere to put up a chair in a cold one, because his cars are first and third at the moment.
Well, at Le Mans this weekend, racing next weekend in San Diego, the truck and cup races he's running next weekend. As we remind ourselves that the trucks are running on San Diego weekend next week.
It's going to be a show.
And apparently it's going to be on a different course than what the Cup and O'Reilly will run on. Apparently it will be a different course, is what everyone's saying. So if you're going to try to learn the course before getting on air and calling the Sunday race, like, me, don't watch Friday. It'll do you no good.
I think of course. Really? Okay.
I mean, I'm just waiting for Chris Wright to end up in the drink.
Oh, well, he'll end up in something, probably the wall at some stage, or in the door of someone else.
Or on a jet carrier.
Basically, what we're saying is that the Friday event for the trucks will be the Coronado Indy circuit, and then the Saturday and Sunday will be the Coronado Grand Prix circuit.
Well, change at 7th, just coming off turn 3. Denny Hamlin passing Daniel Suarez, and we've also got a tight battle going to turn 1, Matt, for the 5th spot.
We have between Ross Chastain and Chase Elliott. JT, if it was near the water, would it not be the island circuit, to use another UK-based layout looping nomenclature? But these two cars up the back straightaway, with Denny Hamlin in 7th position, trying to chase them down. He's just got past Daniel Suarez as well, heading through turn 2.
Yeah. So indeed,
and Germany have just scored a 6.
Oh, good. Here is so Denny Hamlin currently in 7th. We follow him on the racetrack at the moment, and keeps 2 wheels on that yellow line, and he is running smoothly at the present time.
Yeah, on fresher tires than these guys ahead of him, so he is really picking them up and putting them down. He'll try to chomp away at the half-second gap that he has up to Chase Elliott, who will try again, Matt, in turn 1, to pass Ross Chastain.
He will, and he'll get through this time. Ross will try the switch back to get the run out of the corner, but didn't have the momentum to do so. So he'll slide the green and white Busch number 1 car in behind the Napa number 9. Down the back straight they come. Denny Hamlin looming large in the mirror of Ross Chastain as these guys head towards turn 2. Carson Hocevar just a little bit in front of this little group. He's in 4th place.
By the way, John Hunter Nemechek leading here at Pocono. Prior to today, career high laps led in the race, 20. He's now at 23 and counting.
Yeah, he is running extremely well here so far at the Pocono Raceway, pacing this field through the first half of stage number 2. Ross Chastain with a hand out the window, Matt. I think he's going to wave Denny Hamlin by. He knows that Hamlin's got a faster car and he's on fresher tires.
Yeah, different strategy between these two. So, again, a bunch of friends going on here between Denny and Ross. That was at this racetrack as well, wasn't it? One of them. So Ross does the right thing there and waves him through. And we'll have Suarez and Reddick to contend with in the mirror next.
So anyway, as they continue to motor on here, again, you're not missing anything. We've kind of hit that single file processional part of a Pocono race that we always seem to get, with John Hunter Nemechek showing the way.
His father, Joe, led 71 laps in his career at Pocono, including 31 in the race here in August of 2004. He also won a pole here, did Joe, front row Joe, of course, winning the pole for the July race here in 1997, race that was won by Dale Jarrett, or as some would call him, Dale Jarrett.
He won the pole, of course, driving the Bell South Mobility car.
Indeed, as Jerry Punch makes a second appearance on this broadcast today. He's a friend of the show. William Byron trying
SEC football, Jefferson Pilot Sports, brought to you by Bell South.
Well, indeed. Let's pick up a battle for 8th, going to 3.
Yes, and now it's our Bell South Chucklehead race of the week as Tyler Reddick tries to stalk Daniel Suarez. That's the battle for the number 8 position. Suarez clear of Reddick by about 2 car lengths.
Chase Briscoe getting around the lapped and damaged vehicle of Joey Logano as he closes in on our leader, Nemechek. Eric Jones will get around Logano, too. I'm sure everyone came to this race wanting Joe Nemechek's life story of races at Pocono. He finished 3rd here on a couple of occasions, once in 2005, and then again, Seth, actually his first 3rd place finish here, came in 1994, driving the number 41 for Larry Hedrick. That's Larry Hedrick.
Talk about an eclectic day. That was the summer race where the Hoosiers had him covered. Jeff Bodine, Ward Burton in the Hardee's car ran 2nd.
Yeah, it was Bodine, Burton, Nemechek, Jeff Burton 4th before he was well known in the Rebestis car for the Stavola brothers, and Morgan Shepherd finishing 5th in that race. It was not 1, 2, 3 for Larry Hedricks that day, but he did finish 3rd.
Well, first of all, Larry Hedricks only had 1 car to begin with. Hey, 3 under a blanket here. Let's cover the race, Matt White.
Yeah, indeed. So they've cleared Logano, and it's closed all up at the front here between these 2 Legacy Motor Club cars we've been talking about, with Chase Briscoe in the middle. They're almost 6 seconds clear of Carson Hocevar in 4th place, so no trouble from behind. I'd love to, as you said, that call the race there, but as you did, Amazon went to a hard cam shot. They're back with you.
My goodness. So it's Nemechek, Briscoe, and Jones. 1, 2, 3. Jones gets a great run on Briscoe, trying to grab that 2nd position.
And trying to continue that positive momentum off that runner-up finish at his home racetrack in Michigan last weekend. What's the strategy for these guys here, Matt? They pulled out to a big lead. They've got to pit before this stage ends for fuel. They cannot make it to the green and white checkered flag on fuel. But the longer they can go before pitting, one, opens it up for a caution to come out to reset everything. And if they don't get that, they can pit late and maybe stay out again during the stage 2 yellow and then reassume the lead for the start of the last stage.
Yeah, it's probably the play, because we know the what we're calling the Hamlin group will have to pit again under the stage 2 caution, much like we saw really with the flipping of stage 1, which got Nemechek to the front. And Blaney, although he's dropped a little bit further back now, but he was in that group as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here with the next 20 laps or so between now and the end of this 2nd stage. Because if you get a caution, everybody will come in. It will pretty much reset everything.
Yeah, exactly right. Shane Van Gisbergen, after that accident that he was involved in earlier, running 32nd, last car on the lead lap, he is close to being put a lap down by the race leaders. John Hunter Nemechek, Chase Briscoe, and Eric Jones remain the top 3. It's 6 seconds back to Chase Elliott in 4th, then Denny Hamlin. Those 2 have each gotten around Carson Hocevar over the last couple of laps. Working lap 74 of 160, so closing in on the halfway point of the Great American Getaway 400 from the Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania, here in the Pocono Mountains, the honeymoon capital of the country. And it has been a very intriguing start to this race. We've had a couple of cautions for cause, including a 9-car accident. Remember, 9 was the number last week. We had 2 separate 9-car accidents at Michigan in the most caution-filled Michigan race ever in the history of that racetrack. We've had some carnage here today. We've got differing pit strategies, which does often happen at Pocono, especially in the stage racing era. The differing strategies are kind of here, there, and everywhere around this racetrack. As Matt mentioned, top 4 have not stopped in this stage. 5th place Denny Hamlin is the first car in line that has made a pit stop for fuel in this stage. He feels confident that he can make it to the end of this segment without pitting. Leaders did just put a lap on Shane Van Gisbergen, who now runs 32nd. He's got to stay ahead of Ty Dillon to get the free pass, and he's got to do that over the next 20 laps and hope that the leaders don't run down and overtake Josh Berry, who's about 15 seconds ahead of the leaders. Here's one car coming to pit road. It's Daniel Suarez, car number 7. He was running in 7th. Behind him, Ross Chastain cooks the right front getting in. We'll see if Chastain got down to pit road speed or not. Let's go to pit road to cover the stops of the 1 and the 7.
Getting tighter there, no rear bite. He's going to come in and start this pit cycle.
Trevor Daniel Suarez on pit road. He said the car was too free during that run. They are going to wait on fuel. So they're waiting on Ryan Sparks to tell him when he can go back out. And we talked about the Hamlin vibration, or the Hamlin feeling funny in the car, and the 19 saying he had a vibration. Carson Hocevar also said a moment ago, I'm worried about my right front. They too asked him to go a little bit longer to get us to our window.
In the words of Marty Snyder there, the Hamlin feeling funny in the race car. Well, you never like your Hamlin to feel funny in your race car. That's a tough deal. Battle for the lead is starting to heat up a little bit more, Matt, as Chase Briscoe draws closer to John Hunter Nemechek.
Yeah, with these overcast and cool temperatures, it does look like the racetrack is taking rubber much more than it would do normally in the corner. So that's perhaps where that conversation is coming from with the drivers, especially in turn 1. It's very noticeable. So, and then this shot from the rear of turn 2 as well. So, yeah, different to what we would normally get on a big sunny day, I would imagine, as the leaders head towards 3. How long is it going to be before any of these guys come to pit road, Seth?
Excuse me. I don't know. It's nothing to yawn at. Right now, Briscoe's coming in right now. Does that answer your question? That's my guess.
Defending winner of this 400 at Pocono, Chase Briscoe in the bright orange and camouflage. Bass Pro Shops Toyota brings the number 19 to the attention of the James Small-led pit crew. So does the yellow and black 77 of Carson Hocevar. Let's go back to pit road.
Hocevar. Briscoe's been pretty happy with the handling of the car. Just kind of needs a little bit better track position, but they are going to wait on fuel here for the defending winner here at Pocono, the 19. Meanwhile, for the 77, Carson Hocevar said, I'm good everywhere except turn 1. Too free through turn 1 for Hocevar.
See that?
So Hocevar and Briscoe getting their pit stops finished up with now 18 laps to go in this second stage. We're 2 laps shy of halfway. That leaves John Hunter Nemechek and Eric Jones to make it a 1-2 at the top of the scoring pylon for Legacy Motor Club, but it won't last that way long. The leader is in. John Hunter Nemechek, the Pye Barker Fire and Safety Toyota to pit road.
And was giving up some time to the 19. They are going to wait on fuel here to set himself up later, Steve.
Once again, you watch the rear tire changer. Wait on the gas, man. This is all going to be about gas in the car. Set it down easy. Clear, John.
We're tossing to the booth for the end of a pit report now as Nemechek exits pit lane and gives the lead now to his teammate Eric Jones. The extra point at NRG Stadium is good.
Kai Havertz with it. With a couple of minutes to play.
And
Dennis Undav, by the way, scored the 6th goal, his 7th goal in his last 7 caps.
Kai Havertz making the extra point and kicking field goals. Could have used him in Tennessee Orange last year. Good Lord.
Eric Jones on pit road now.
Lovely finish. I just saw it. Turncoat, but anyway.
Scheduled.
So Jones completing his scheduled pit stop. They will also wait on fuel here with the 43. He is away. Meanwhile, on the merge off of pit road, Chase Briscoe did get ahead on the blend of John Hunter Nemechek, so that would be a change of position there that was for the lead. It will not be as this stage winds down, though. Will Eric Jones stay ahead of Briscoe here, Matt, going to 1? No, he will not, but he might jump his teammate.
Yeah, shows what the fresh tyres can do for you on the outlaps. Jones will slide in between Briscoe and Nemechek. Looks like he will cover his teammate off by the time they get to the end of the straight towards turn 2. So those guys fall all the way down. Briscoe 24th in the running order, which puts Chase Elliott out front.
So indeed it does. So Chase Elliott to the top spot. Still 15 laps to go in this second stage. New top 10, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, William Byron, Tyler Reddick, Michael McDowell, Ryan Preece, Kyle Larson, Cole Custer, Ryan Blaney, and Ty Gibbs. Custer had a solid run at Michigan last week.
Yeah, it was his best start-to-finish run of the season. A.J. Allmendinger completing service on the Celsius Chevrolet at the Colleague pit stop as Allmendinger pulls away. The great A.J. Allmendinger with 15
He'll be in the conversation for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, oh, boy, we're going to hear A.J. Allmendinger's name like crazy, especially if you listen to a certain podcast over the next 2 weeks. I mean, oh, my God. And if you listen to
Most underrated driver in NASCAR history, don't you?
If you listen to a certain show on Sirius XM NASCAR radio, they'll talk about his chances, but, you know, heaven forbid we mention Michael McDowell on the road courses. Oh, my God. Chase Elliott.
He's currently fifth.
As we are in the middle of a, let me see, because, so where were we at? My mind is, okay, yes, okay, so Michigan, Poconos, we're in the middle of a what? 5-race stretch outside the oversaturated southeastern these United States.
Well, indeed, yes. I mean, the Southeast is too oversaturated, but we haven't been there in a while, and I don't care what anyone says. Nashville is not Southeast. Central Time
Yes,
zone.
it is. Oh my God, we're not doing this again.
Nashville is not Southeast. It just cannot be.
And also, why are the next 2 weeks not being called a West Coast swing?
Yeah, well, indeed.
Good point.
Which doesn't include the central Phoenix or slightly less central Las Vegas.
Please.
But yeah, indeed.
But of course, you know.
Anyway,
yesterday we were told that Qatar and Switzerland played in San Francisco when they most certainly did not. Played in Santa Clara.
Play at Leland Stadium.
We just have identity crisis when it comes to where we're at.
Speaking of identity crisis, next game up is the Netherlands versus Japan.
Yeah, well, indeed, yes. That's really tough for Japan. Tough draw to have to play 3 different teams. Has to play Netherlands, Holland, and the Dutch. I don't know how
two
to
different
and
two different color schemes as well.
Thank you.
the Dutch, yes.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
not the Z with a Z.
Yeah. Remember, Matthew, 3 different teams and 2 different color schemes with their flags as well.
Right, yeah, indeed. They don't know what color they want to be. I mean, you know. So.
And this is from at least on my end. I'm not being critical. I love the Dutch. I love their soccer culture, to use it to say it like the way JT would. But we got a battle for the lead. Denny Hamlin is closed in on Chase Elliott. That closed in on a rate of knots right there. As we're covering the race, please. So Hamlin within a car length of Elliott, exiting the short straight, heading to turn number 3. It's Elliott. What in the world? The Great Prime does this.
Yeah, Hamlin in a car today that looks like the Dutch uniforms, closing in on Chase Elliott for the lead. Chase Elliott in a car that looks like the Curacao kits at the current moment. It's Curacao versus Netherlands for the lead. No one can see it.
Oh, my God.
It's okay.
Or as JT would say, oh, my God.
Yeah, that's probably what he's saying behind the scenes now. 11 to go in the stage, working lap 85 of 160 beneath the twin spires of the Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Where
Stop it.
Another sellout crowd. 4th straight weekend with a sellout crowd. All the talk about TV ratings, but we never talk about sellouts at the racetrack. We refuse to be happy. Anyway.
Can't win with people. The World Cup stage break brought to you by...
Gosh, jeez.
You're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. You both...
Eric Jones closing in on Chase Briscoe.
Idiot.
This is 4 position, heading to 2.
I love you like a brother, but you're an absolute idiot.
Well, you know, I try.
3 stage points gained by the United States last night. Points we put up to 3 matches before everyone goes into a clean sheet of single elimination playoff rounds. Oh, my God, you're... Oh, you love stirring the pot, don't you, big dummy?
I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, me culo. You know what you're talking. You don't know what.
Michael McDowell hitting pit road now. Stayed out a long time in that Delaware Life Chevrolet. So the Spire Motorsports entry, waiting on fuel. And McDowell is away. Even though they could stop here and make it to the end of the stage on fuel easily. They are waiting for fuel on all of these stops to maximize the amount of laps that they can run going into the final stage. Let's pick up the battle for the lead again, Matt, going to one. Hamlin with the rod and reel out, trying to pull in Chase Elliott.
Maximising that and also minimising time on pit lane for the next fuel stop, if you can get as much of it in now. But we'll worry about that in a bit, because the leaders are nose to tail heading up towards turn 2, Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin. And Hamlin is right to the bumper of Elliott, not quite close enough to have an attack at it, as they head across the tunnel turn through turn 2.
Hamlin tries to reel Elliott in, heading into turn number 2. Now it's Hamlin trying to work it, or that's turn 3, and Hamlin gets a really good run. He gets to the inside of Elliott. He is there off of 3.
Got a really good run through turn 3 as Elliott went about a half a groove wide. Hamlin closes right in underneath the rear spoiler of the blue, white, and yellow number 9. Going back to turn 1, the fight for the lead carries on with Hamlin angling it down to the bottom.
And he should be down the inside here, Hamlin, and does clear Chase Elliott. So change of lead in turn 1 with 7 3/4 of a lap to go. Denny Hamlin to the lead. Full time in Houston, 7-1 the final score to the Germans. And a change of lead at Pocono. Denny Hamlin back to the front. The stage 1 winner lining up a stage 2 victory perhaps here as well.
So, Chase Elliott continuing to run here. Oh, this is a hell of a day for La Liga to be having the second La Liga 2 to be having its promotion playoff final first leg.
By the way, JT, are you with us? Come in,
JT. I don't know whether I should answer that question or not.
Well, you should. What do they call turn 2 here at Pocono?
Oh, God, we talked about this earlier. Oh, my God.
Ryan Priest in.
Come on, JT. What do they call turn 2 at Pocono?
Prime on Advexano Pit Road. They call turn 2 at Pocono the tunnel turn because there's a tunnel.
That?
What?
Why is that?
They call it the tunnel turn because there's a tunnel that goes under the turn. Hence the name Tunnel Turn.
Thank you, JT Bagley, for that report on the topography of Pocono Raceway.
JT's racetrack education is brought to you by
Sprite with Tea. Which
Oh, yes, that's right. I forgot. Sprite with Tea is now sponsoring.
The tunnel that goes under the turn is also the other nod to IMS.
Yeah, indeed. It's.
There you go. Kyle Larson in the pit lane.
Kyle Larson, pitting. Do we have this pit report?
The race earlier, a little bit tight, but they've over-adjusted. They feel like they're on the other side of it now. Loose on exits. They're going to come down now, get their fuel and tires. Kim?
Kim? Come in, Kim. You can speak anytime, Kim.
Let's see. This right here might be everything the 11 and the 9 need to say. You see the 5 waiting a little bit on gas. The 11 of Denny Hamlin, the 9 of Chase Elliott, both have come into pit road.
Oh.
It sounds like that Prime went straight out of ad break to pit reporters because I didn't hear Adam Alexandra.
Now this is interesting, Matt. Denny Hamlin pitting before this stage ends. I don't think we were expecting that.
Teammate Kyle Larson came down. That's when Alan Dutson, the crew chief, pulled him down and said, pick this time 4 fresh Goodyear tires. Sunoco fuel for Chase Elliott. No complaints about the handling, Marty.
The long run pace of the 11 just exceptional here at Pocono today. Nothing from Denny Hamlin since he said something feels funny. Kenneth Purcell, the fueler, will get the nod when they are fueled. Going to wait just a little bit. There's a nod. And there goes Denny Hamlin, who keeps that lead over Chase Elliott off of pit road.
Kim's alive.
So that's interesting, Matt. We weren't expecting Hamlin and Elliott to pit before this stage ended. We thought they could go the rest of the way on fuel, which they probably could have, but they pit here. They don't have to wait for fuel, but that time difference still does not get them out in front of Briscoe, Jones, and Nemechek.
No, indeed so. That's going to be interesting to see. There was a little bit of a slow stop for the Hamlin 11 on the left rear, but it was covered by the fuel. So mattered little, so I have to wait for the order to recycle here. But Denny did beat Chase Elliott out, and they are as close as they were, but both of them now with fresh tyres. Ryan Blaney also having his stop at the moment. Right side done, just waiting on fuel. Ty Gibbs also down there as well.
Yeah, waiting on fuel a while on the 12, waiting for it a while on the 54. They're packing it full of fuel here. We're at 4 laps to go in stage number 2. Austin Cindric, as you see, being scored as the leader over Christopher Bell, Todd Gilliland, Darrell Wallace Jr., and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. We'll see how many of these drivers at the front. The top 6 have not pitted in this stage. We'll see how many will try to make it to the end to win the stage. And as we talked about earlier, Seth, a stage win for Austin Cindric would be big, but he's not going to get it because the 2 is coming to pit road here.
Interesting. So Cindric comes to pit road, and well, who's that going to leave in the stage lead now? Todd Gilliland.
Yeah, Todd Gilliland will take the lead because as Bell pits with Cindric, and they'll wait on fuel on the 2 car as well. So the bright neon yellow and blue number 2 goes down pit road. A lot of good days here for a 2 car with both Rusty Wallace and Brad Keselowski winning at Pocono in a 2 car. Christopher Bell in the 20, down and away. And now Todd Gilliland leads this race, and here he is, Seth, in the Love's Travel Stops Ford. He can pit here if he wants to. This is the last chance to flip the stage as we're coming to 2 to go.
See if he does it. Let's see what strategy he pulls, and he's going to stay out.
Okay, so they are going to try to win this stage with Todd Gilliland here, Matt. But his lead on Chase Briscoe is not particularly huge, and Briscoe on fresh tires is closing the gap. The gap is 2.5 seconds from Gilliland to Briscoe as Team 34, Matt White, tries to win him a stage. Chris Lawson trying to steal one.
Yeah, 2.5 seconds or a tick under at the line. It's going to be close by the time we get around here. Briscoe continues to roll on in second with JHN tucked under his spoiler, and then a couple of car lengths back to Eric Jones in 4th. So these 3 that have been locked together for some time, trying to run down Todd for the stage win.
See if he could do it. Todd Gilliland, of course, we've seen that Love's 34 car snooker people at Pocono in adverse conditions before, haven't we, Matthew?
Yeah, we sure have. Here he comes to the line. Final lap of the stage underway. His lead on Briscoe shrunk by 0.8 of a second that lap, but he's got 1.6 to play with, Matt, looking for his first career stage victory.
He's got Daniel Dye up in front of him, making a rare cup start in 30th position, but that's probably just enough out front to give him a bit of a tow down the straights here, which will help Todd out. But he lost 0.8 on the last lap, 1.7 at the line, should be fine. 2 more corners to go in the second stage for the 34 to, as you say, nick another stage victory.
So Todd Gilliland cruising here as he goes through 2, trying to hang on and get it done. I say he was cruising. No, not cruising might not be the right word, but he is holding on through turn 3. Todd Gilliland to the center of the racetrack. Todd Gilliland looking good for a stage win.
Green and white checkered flag waving. Todd Gilliland is the first one to it for his first career stage victory in NASCAR Cup Series competition. Chris Lawson, the crew chief of the 34 team, steals a stage. Gilliland wins it from Briscoe, Nemechek, Jones, Stenhouse stayed out and got 6 stage points. Then Ross Chastain, Carson Hocevar, Daniel Suarez, Denny Hamlin, and Chase Elliott, the rest of the points-paying positions here in Stage 2 of the Great American Getaway 400 at Pocono. A Rock'em Sock'em Robot stage with Zane Smith running up front and crashing. Then a 9-car melee breaking out early in the stage. Gives way to a lot of strategy, and Todd Gilliland from Sherrills Ford, North Carolina, picking up the stage victory. You see the running order through the first 2 stages and now through 95 of 160 laps. Here in Pocono, you can see 1 car scored as out of the race as Brad Keselowski. Zane Smith still not officially out of the race. The free pass will go to Casey Mears to put 31 cars on the lead lap. as we hit the Stage 2 caution. And I will hit it over to Seth Eaves as we go on a hot lap on a very busy racing weekend. Seth, take it away.
You better believe it's a busy weekend. Let's start yesterday. It was the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series here at Pocono. It was the Miller Tech Battery 250 presented by KOA. That's a heck of a race name. Justin Allgaier led 35 of the 100 laps and won yet again. He's having an unbelievable season. He won yesterday by 0.6 of a second over Brent Cruz, William Byron, Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, the top 5 finishers. Allgaier now has a 250-point lead over Jesse Love in the championship standings. In terms of the chase, Brent Cruz leads Taylor Gray by 3 points and Rajah Caruth by 5 in the race to make the
Chase.
Chase, yeah. I'm sorry for the pause. I know it was racing the chase, but something else was happening here.
My boy Parker Retzlaff trying to make it. My boy Parker.
He didn't go.
Trying hard to make it.
Yep, absolutely doing it. ARCA was at Pocono this weekend as well. Talk about a weird race name. The Sunset Hill Shooting Range 150.
Okay.
Gio Ruggiero led 51 of the 60 laps, and he won by a pure 14 seconds. See what I did there, Matthew?
Yeah, thank you.
Gavin Bichelle, Carson Brown, Jake Bowman, Laney Bice, the top 5 finishers in that one. Tough break for Matthew. His gal, Destiny Spurlock, was in a lap 3 crash with Bobby Earnhardt. So that was...
But Laney did start on the pole.
She did. And not Laney Pope either.
No, not Laney Pope, no.
Was that a shooting range 150?
Oh my God.
Gio Ruggiero definitely hit the target with that race win. Jesus. You're welcome.
He was an absolute assassin on the racetrack.
Okay, you should see what's on my television screen right now. Rob Stone, Clarence Seedorf, and Peter Schmeichel are dancing with a bunch of Dutch fans in front of Jerry World, which has AT&T Stadium covered up, by the way, which again is objectively hilarious.
Not a FIFA sponsor.
Yes.
Well, the long drought ended. Lewis Hamilton is back in winner's circle, folks. He won the Spanish Grand Prix earlier today in Catalunya.
Woo!
After Kimi Antonelli had some late problems as well. So pretty wild race from what I gathered, but it's Lewis Hamilton who gets the win.
I don't cover Formula One anymore. I can root openly for my team. Forza Ferrari. Always a fan of Lewis Hamilton. Never have disliked the man.
Okay. I thought you was getting rid of all your sports fandom. But anyway,
here is an insane stat.
You lie to us. Anyway.
So, Lewis Hamilton got his first win for Ferrari in June 2026 at Barcelona. Michael Schumacher got his first win for Ferrari in June 1996 at Barcelona.
Was a bit drier today though than it was in 96.
Yeah, no kidding.
Indeed.
And it raced around to time. 96.
JT knows all about this. I just called him JB. Oh God, I feel so bad about that. Earlier today, Mike Conway, Kamui Kobayashi, and Nick DeVries for Toyota Racing won the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the overall class winner in the hypercar and the overall winners. So congratulations to them. Other class winners, the LMP2 went to the Inter-Europol competition team of Tom Dillman, Jakub Simachowski, and Nick Yelloy. Am I pronouncing that right, Matt? He's an Englishman, so you would know that.
Yelloy. Just signed for Ford for their hypercar program for next season.
I mean, that is a terrific result for JJ Yellowly. I mean, who saw that coming?
God almighty! And in LMGT3, it was the TF Sport team of Nicky Katzberg, Johnny Edgar, and Tomball, Texas is Ben Keating. You know what? Maybe it is the one. Do what now? I'm sorry.
I am not surprised that team won at all.
No.
But anyway, Ben Keating winning a class, the 24 Hours, and Rosenquist at Indy. Maybe Texas A&M will win something this year after all. We'll say Texas A&M graduate, in case you're wondering where in the hell I would have made that reference at. But, you know, it's we have so much fun around here, don't you know?
He takes shots at Texas. He takes shots at Texas A&M. Does he get them all in?
Oh yeah. Let me use a Matthew quote that he told me when he was rooting. He quote that he used when we were talking about all the people he got mad at when he was being a Jeff Gordon fan. No one's free from my saltiness
no,
here.
not at all. So you take shots at Texas. You take shots at Texas A&M. We'll all take shots at Texas Tech over the next handful of months. So
my God! Yeah, you can bet on that.
No one circles the wagons like us.
Yeah. Do you like that one, Matthew? You can bet on that.
Oh, you can bet on it.
Yeah.
Brendan
anyway,
Sorsby will.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. That's exactly right. All right.
Matt,
let's see.
Real quick, Matt, Brendan Sorsby, coming up to be the Texas Tech quarterback this season. It's been discovered he's got a betting addiction. How did they learn that he's got a betting addiction? He placed 90,000 bets over the last 2 years.
Wow.
As a college student.
And we thought we were bad.
Anyway, carry on, Seth.
Keelan Harvick. Kevin Harvick won Cars Tour West, at State Line Speedway last night. So look at him go. That'll be something for Kevin and Will to talk about. Jameis Winston is with the Orange Army.
Yeah, he was there this morning on the bus. Lord.
Oh, for heaven's sake. As we try to press Sonica Lee now, but as usual, something always happens and screws it all to smithereens. Let's see. Cars Tour at Dominion Raceway last night. Come on. How come this website stinks? How come I can't get results on here? This is a darn stupid. JT had to bail me out last time. To do it again, whether he wants to or not. Or we can just skip it. It's the Cars Tour. It's not like it's the end of the world, but... All right, 2026 Cars Tour. Is this going to have results? Yes! Late Models, Cars Late Model Tour. Minnie Tyrell got the win at Dominion Raceway last night. Most success he's had since joining college, and it wasn't even in a college. Eric Cartman! Cartman! With Danielle Trotta and Corey LaJoy. Screw you guys, I'm doing NASCAR. But anyway...
wow, we have had a lot we've sprayed a lot of fields in this segment.
Well, hey, that's why you listen to us. We're like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yes.
JB or Matt, does anybody know what happened in F2 and F3 land? This is where we need Omi. We would not steal Omi's thunder either, like a certain someone.
Okay.
I can pull it up fairly quickly, but while I do, I can tell you that World Superbike were in action at Misano this weekend, and as per normal, Nico Bulega won all 3 races on the weekend.
Because all 3 races at Misano.
He's won all of the races so far this season. Not a single one has gone to anyone else. F2, Kush Miney and Rafael Kamara, last year's F3 champion, the winners in Formula 2. In F3, James Walton, the Australian, won yesterday, and today's race went to Frenchman Théophile Nile. And just because we continue to do the sport races, the Porsche Supercut race was won by Flint Schuring.
And just quickly, the Money in the Bank 150 at Berlin Raceway was midweek, a very rain-delayed race. A 2.5 hour rain delay in the middle of it. A name you might recognise on top. And name you might recognise apparently rage quitted from the event. Carson Hocevar saying, "I'm done parking it and going to the hauler." Ty Majeski coming out on top.
Real quick, I know we're about ready to go here, but I do want to know there was a World of Outlaws this weekend. Race Fest Summer Championship at West Virginia Motor Speedway for the late models. Bobby Pierce won Friday. Tyler Erb Saturday. Also, Friday, Brent Marks won the World of Outlaws Premier Chevy Dealers Clash at Knoxville. They did not run last night. It was canceled due to weather. So there is your hot lap. As always, a very fun and eclectic hot lap done just in time for the restart of the race that we're actually covering.
Yes, the hot
Just a quick
laps.
question before we do go
Oh,
back
yes.
to the race we're covering. The Money in the Bank race, do they have to climb a ladder and retrieve a briefcase to win?
Oh, God! No, for F's sake.
Just a question.
Yeah, the tracks where the pace laps are very long. We could use an extended calendar break and an extended hot lap. Anyway.
Well, I mean, so you're saying I need to really do my homework for San Diego next week?
Yeah, no one knows how long those
Wait,
pace
what?
laps are going to be. Good God.
What time does San Diego race start next week?
I believe
Eastern
it'll
time?
be 3:30 or 4.
Oh, so Matt's probably not going to be. Or
Yeah.
he might be
No,
out
I'm
with
out.
us.
No, Matt is
Oh,
out.
he's out. Matt is out, and which means I have to do 2 things next week. I have to do the on this day, which I love doing the on this day, but anyway, we're going green.
Final stage here at Pocono underway at the completion of lap 101. 59 laps from the end of this race. Everyone will still have to make one more pit stop for fuel. Chase Briscoe, the control car outside of row 1, jumps out to the lead. They're 3 wide, about 4 rows back. They're 4 wide at about 20th.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, and
Out of turn. Whoa, beating and banging around at the back of the shot, but it's Jonathan Nemechek that's come out of turn 1 with the lead ahead of Denny Hamlin and Eric Jones. The chases are next to each other because, of course they are, for 4th position. Elliott on the inside of Briscoe, Byron and Suarez next in the queue.
They battle on as they head down the short stretch on the exit of turn number 2, now approach the number 3 corner. And it is John Hunter Nemechek who is having quite the day. And he's out in front. They're 3 wide, a little further back in the field. But it's Nemechek, the leader, off 3 with Hamlin bearing down.
yeah, Chase Briscoe just went way too deep into turn 1 on the restart, washed way up the banking and dropped from the lead to 4th. John Hunter Nemechek goes back to the front. The juking and jiving and the jockeying on the front straightaway is crazy. Cars weaving from left to right.
Got to make the gains while you can on the restarts, as we talked about at the top of the show. Barely single file through the front end of the order at the moment. It's all happening further back. Ross Chastain and Austin Cindric trying to make some moves. Here comes Michael McDowell popping out to see if he can get a move done on Ryan Blaney at turn 2, but wasn't close enough to complete that pass. He will still be in the inside, though, Seth, heading towards you. And here comes Kyle Larson.
3 wide, Larson will go with McDowell and Blaney. Can he make it stick into turn 3? Looks like yes, he will. Of course he will. The 2-time champ showing why he's one of the best in the business.
Double overtake for Larson, so he jumps up into the 10th position, getting McDowell and Blaney, who are still side by side on the front stretch. That gives Ryan Preece a double slipstream, and he'll say thank you very much to that. Preece to the inside of Blaney and McDowell. Now he'll pass those two who, Matt, just need to get it sorted out or they're going to keep losing spots.
Yeah, they're having a disciplinary action against each other back there, and it's just causing them headaches as everyone flies by. Here comes Suarez trying to get, looking at Buescher, but Kyle Larson, who's on a tear on this restart, tries to get him around the outside.
Sorry, yeah, Reddick, here he goes, inside of Suarez, battling for a spot. And Reddick is going to pass Suarez. Good move, Tyler Reddick. Now he'll try to set his sights on Kyle Larson. This is towards the back half of the top 10. The tail end of the top 10.
Kyle Larson on that 39-race winless drought. He has been on a tear on this restart. Up into the 8th position he goes. Further up, the Chases still have not sorted out their battle for 4th. Elliott to the left elbow of Briscoe with William Byron on the forecheck.
Yeah, perhaps Byron could help his teammate out here, perhaps, but no, Elliott gets the move done on Briscoe coming out of turn 1. So change of 4th place there for Elliott in front of Briscoe. The 3 Toyotas out front, as we've been talking about. Elliott through, and Byron sticking in behind Briscoe through turn 2.
John Hunter Nemechek continuing to show the way here as they head to turn 2, and now looks. Oh, one car in the wall back there off the exit of turn number 2. Yeah. And caution is out, leaving a lot of debris.
It's Casey Mears.
I think you're right about that. A tire has now gone off that car, and it is Casey Mears, the Beard Motorsports 62. He was at the back of the pack, and he hit the wall in turn number 2 and lost a tire in the process. So Caution out again as Casey Mears has, well, he's lost some things.
Well, clearly.
Guys, this is a massive break for Tyler Reddick, who was reporting, thinking that he had a tyre going down. He was staying out for now, but now he's got this caution where he can pit and change it.
Well,
that's big news.
He can just take
Looks
Casey
like
Mears' tire that just left him.
Yeah, it looks like it might have been a rim failure because that is, well, or it's broken on the impact because that went in quite early. So that might have been either a wheel coming loose or a flat tire for Casey, because to use the Martin Brundle line, straight to the scene of the accident in turn 2.
That was a hard
Can
hit,
I say
too.
the thing?
Go ahead.
You picked a fine time to leave me loose wheel and rim.
Free pass will go to Connor Zilic. First amount of good luck he's had all year.
Yeah, really.
So caution comes out. That's a heavy hit for Casey. Beard Motorsports really doesn't do any other races aside from the drafting track super speedways, but they put this deal together with Casey fairly late to get him into this race. Casey trying to get to 500 career starts. Today is 495. And Casey will not see the end of his 495th start. That's a hard crash. So Mears brings out the caution. 55 laps from the finish, Matt. Probably a tick too early to come down pit road and fuel up and make it to the end, unless you bank on a lot more yellow from here to the finish.
Yeah, and we had that rash of yellow at the start of stage 2, didn't we? So we're in that kind of time period at the start of this last stage where we would perhaps see more with the restarts. Once it does get settled down, we seem to be okay, but it's going to be interesting to see what teams do here. You would assume that it's going to be a fairly green stage from here on out once we get back going, which it's bringing a smile to my face because every time I look at the clock, it's still pre-8:30 and we're in the final stage.
Don't say it.
Wonderful news.
Don't say it. That was like JT last night sending me a message behind the scenes. Oh, I'm going to get to bed before 4 a.m. as it's a 4-1 hockey game. Seconds later, and they score. It's like, don't do that. Don't say it.
The 3 S's of Stone, Sadorf, and Schmeichel are now inside the palace.
So I love what Fox have been doing here. They've got the studio crew led by the magnificent Becky Lowe. But then they've also got this roaming studio that's doing like a college game day kind of show at the arena with the fans, and they go into the stadium. I really like what Fox are doing, and they've really managed this quite well.
Read somewhere, Matthew, we get Pien Muhlenstein's debut tonight. She'll be fronting the coverage of the Sweden versus Tunisia.
Okay.
Fairly heavy hitters on ITV as well, by the way, in the studio. Woodsy in control with Roy King, Gary Neville, and former Japan manager Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the man that was too that Tottenham thought it too good for. I don't know how you say it. Tottenham thought he wasn't good enough for him. We saw how that worked out. But anyway, yeah. Interesting enough, Matt, that ITV decided to go to New York and the BBC did not.
Don't get me started on that.
Don't get JT started.
They did not want to use taxpayers' money to fly all their people to New York when they can do it virtually from Salford.
Don't get JT started.
ITV are not paid by the taxpayer, they are paid by the advertisers.
JT's not.
Someone did curse that caution, by the way.
Who was that?
A single minute before the caution was out, Speedway Digest said, okay, so hear me out, everyone. If we run green to the end, we can be done in an hour. Let's not mess up a good thing. 1 minute later, caution out for Miz losing a wheel. Well done, Speedway Digest on the Twitter.
Do have some cars on pit road, including stage winner Todd Gilliland, Austin Dillon, Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman, Daniel Suarez, Daniel Dye, who is back amongst us. as they will rejoin the fray under caution. Let's give you the full setup while we have this yellow. Coming up in about a half hour from now on the channel, Game 2 of the Calder Cup final between, Matt, go.
The Wolves and the Marlies.
Thank you. That is coming up at 4 o'clock. Then at 7 o'clock tonight, World Cup action from Philadelphia, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ecuador. At 8 o'clock, it's Game 6 of the Stanley Cup final, the Hurricanes and the Golden Knights. Tomorrow, a quadruple header of World Cup games scheduled for you on the channel. Spain and Cape Verde at noon, Belgium and Egypt at 3, Saudi Arabia and Uruguay at 6, Iran and New Zealand at 9, all coming your way tomorrow. Tuesday at 3, we hope to have France and Senegal. We hope. At 6, it's Norway and Iraq. And then at 7 o'clock Tuesday night, Chicago and Toronto, Game 3 of the Calder Cup final. Then at 9, Argentina and Algeria. We are trying to shuffle our scheduling a bit now that the NBA Finals are complete. Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Portugal and Congo DR, England and Croatia at 4, and if there is a Stanley Cup Final Game 7, it'll be that night. If there's not, then we will have one of Ghana, Panama, or Uzbekistan, Colombia. Thursday at 3. What was that?
What choice.
Yeah, indeed. Thursday at 3, it's Switzerland against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Then Game 4 of the Calder Cup final later that night on Thursday. And then at 9, Mexico takes on South Korea or Korea Republic, depending on what you want to call them. Friday, June 19th, that is a holiday here stateside. The United States take on Australia at 3 p.m. Eastern Time in Seattle. At 6, it's Scotland and Morocco. The if necessary Game 5 of the Calder Cup final is on June 19th. That night, there will not be an NBA Final Game 7, which means that we may add one of Brazil, Haiti, or Turkey and Paraguay.
There's Fletch and Hargreaves.
Yeah, there is quite the storm brewing in here at the home base, and it does not look like we have doubled up. So,
yeah, I've got the skies are looking kind of darkish in Studio
no
G too.
I mean, out of nowhere. So dogs have to be brought in before that blows in. So here's Matt, JT, and Seth with a trio waffling segment.
Oh, yes. I prefer the pancaking segment, but, it's neither here nor there. But, yes, Fletch and Greavesy getting ready to go for the Dutch and the Japanese. Should be a fun one from Getaway World. Here in Pocono World, we're in the final stage, and I'll tell you what, Matt, what a drive John Hunter Nemechek has put on here today.
Getting one to go now, they're at the choose. But, yes, I agree. He, as I said earlier, he was going to be one of our ones to watch today. Again, put another page in the book of we actually do know what we're talking about. Because he's had a great run and backed up ably by his teammate Eric Jones, they've been pretty much tied at the hip, those two, all afternoon, it seems. But now they have probably the best car on the property to deal with on this restart, being the 11 of Denny Hamlin. Looking for Pocono win number 8, which, again, probably should be 9 because he has lost one once before.
He knows his way around here, and he's going to have the big-time advantage here on this restart. So we'll see how he works it here. Again, maybe weather in the area in Pocono, too. That's just who knows with that. But what we know for the present time is that we're about to get the restart. It'll be lap 111 is when they will get this restart. Lap 111, there will be 50 laps to go when they get the green flag. 50 laps to go, and this should be quite a show. It's going to be Denny Hamlin and John Hunter Nemechek on the front row. Then it's going to be Chase Briscoe on the inside of row number 2. Alongside him will be the, who is that back there? That is Eric Jones. So the legacy cars right behind each other. Then you got all Hendrick cars in row 3 with Byron and Elliott. Pace car about to pull in. Getting set for the green flag, Matthew Owens at lap 111.
John Hunter Nemechek has led more laps than anyone today. He's got the Pocono Maestro to his inside, Denny Hamlin. Into the restart zone we come. With 50 laps to go, we are back under green at the Tricky Triangle. Even start on the front row this time as Nemechek's teammate Jones tries to give him a push on the outside, but the Gibbs teammates on the inside, Matt, stick with the Legacy Toyota stride for stride.
Yeah, high-speed pace lap down to turn 1, 3 wide a little bit further back in the queue. That's Reddick trying to force it to fit down the middle, but it is Hamlin who's clear to the lead off of turn number 1 on this restart. As you both mentioned, 50 laps to go. That is more than a fuel run for everybody, so we will see pit stops between now and the end for everybody to get them home. But as we've talked about, you've got weather coming your way. It's starting to blow in here at Pocono too.
Indeed it is, as they work their way into turn number 3. 3 wide battle here. 3 wide action a little bit further back, but at the front, Denny Hamlin is clear sailing.
So Hamlin setting sail for his 8th Pocono victory. Back to the front of the field. Clean air on the nose of that Camry. Here's Tyler Reddick at the tail end of the top 10, diving way down to the inside on the front straightaway. He'll pass Ryan Preece, and he might pass a couple others. Actually, no, he'll slide up the banking now, Matt.
He will. He'll try and go single file. A bit further back, it's Reddick and Preece side by side. Busher just in front of them. McDowell giving the heave-ho to Tyler Reddick and then says, I want to pass you, by the way. Reddick threw a block on him as they head towards turn 2. They'll be all single file. Chastain and Blaney side by side off turn 2.
They are side by side as they head down that second straightaway. Whoa, here's Austin Hill trying to make a dart to the inside. Ross Chastain, though, stays in front of him. That's well back in the pack. As these Pocono restarts, always exciting. Whoa, Blaney contact with Chastain.
Yeah, Chastain, again, just lost it on the inside of Blaney, started washing up. Blaney brushed the wall. They keep it pointed the right direction, but boy, car on the inside of another at the bottom of turn 3 has been a very tenuous spot to be in all day.
Yeah, it really has. We've seen a couple of incidents now off the corner, and here's the replay of that Chastain and Blaney moment. There wasn't any contact, but Ryan was flat to the boards trying to keep in there in the battle with Ross. Maybe the minimalist of contact, but I think it was more air than anything else as they came off the corner. Gaggle coming back to you, Seth.
Yeah, indeed. Daniel Suarez, Darrell Wallace Jr. back there. You got Carson Hocevar and Austin Cindric also battling for spots as they try to fight for every position they possibly can. Again, with weather potentially coming, it's go time now.
Yeah, it certainly is. Leaders flash across the line. Hamlin at the front starting to stretch it away by a second and a half. That Chastain and Blaney battle not done yet, Matt, for 12th.
No, Roster back down the inside of Ryan, who probably getting a bit frustrated here, just wants to get rid of. He's like a pesky fly, Chastain, around the Ryan Blaney car. He's cleared him for the moment, and we'll have to wait and see how that settles down. Absolute World Championship racing going on, but it's all the way outside the top 10. Denny Hamlin clear by a second and a half.
Hamlin cleared by a second and a half. Then it's Nemechek, Briscoe, Jones, and Elliott, followed by Byron, Larson, Busher, Reddick, and McDowell. That's your current top 10 as they run at Pocono.
Back towards the line comes Denny Hamlin with that lead starting to lengthen out. Meanwhile, I can tell you the radar that I'm looking at has rain about an hour, maybe 50 minutes to the west of us. It's about a 1-minute lap, just under a 1-minute lap, Matt. 46 to go, so we might just be able to get there to the finish.
If we stay green, if we get any yellows that slow us down, then we're really going to be on our tippy toes to the end of the race, aren't we, if that's the current trajectory. So we'll keep an eye on that through the next sort of half an hour or so. Right on board with Tyler Reddick. He sits in 9th position chasing Chris Busher.
Yep, Good running here by the 45 of Tyler Reddick as they head down the back straightaway, or down that second straightaway, now into turn 3. Reddick. Been an interesting day for Reddick. Currently in ninth, just trying to nurse it the best he can, I suppose.
And for all of you listening here on USN, be very familiar with JB Motorsports, because if with what just blew in all at once, if we go down here on USN, you can continue to listen to Matt and Seth call the race on JBM. We'll cross that bridge if we get there. Hopefully we won't. Back to turn 1 we go, Matt.
Nice to have a backup for that one in case it happens. Alex Bowman making a move on Darrell Wallace Jr., who I'm surprised that car looks the way it does, considering he was hit earlier by Brad Keselowski and looked like it wrote the front of the 6 off and ended his race. But Bubba's looks fairly fine considering the hit that it took in the side, and Bowman completes the pass.
So Bowman does complete the pass on Wallace. Now Wallace and Van Gisbergen battling, and Wallace took a bit of a awkward entry there, it looked like, into turn number 3, but all Denny Hamlin at the front.
Hamlin stretching it out even more now, Matt, to 2 seconds on Nemechek. Hamlin, who came in as the pre-race favorite, as he always seems to at Pocono, no matter what's going on, was even more so today, coming off the back of 2 straight wins. Hamlin has never won 3 in a row, and if he were to do it here, would add another driver to the list of names that have won 3 in a row here recently. Christopher Bell last year, Tyler Reddick at the start of this year. Hamlin trying to add his name to that list, Matt. All Toyota drivers as well.
Yeah, it's been a rich vein of form for Hamlin. Of course, won the last 2 points races and the All-Star race a couple of weeks ago at Dover before that, which may as well have been a point race. Good news for me is I might be on for a pick a winner and stage points double winners if this holds.
I've completely lost track of that the last 2 weeks, so there go my championship hopes. Can I get a waiver, Matthew?
We'll get you a waiver. We'll even do a points reset. How about that? No one knows what the points reset will mean because no one knows what the points are. You'll get them when you get them.
Stage points hydration break coming up after this weekend.
Well, indeed. Zane Smith, by the way, is back out on the racetrack. The reason they've gotten that 38 car on the track is because Brad Keselowski is out of the race, so if Zane could make it to the end, there's a chance, so there's more than a chance, that he'll be able to overtake Keselowski in the running order. As you can see on your screen, all he has to do is make a couple of more laps to do that. Cars on pit road. Chase Briscoe, Eric Jones, and Chris Buescher, they're going to come in at the early point of their window, Matt, with 42 to go. They believe they can make it from here on fuel. Let's go to pit road. Well, never mind. We'll cover the stops. We can do it ourselves. 4 tires and fuel for Jones. And Jones' service is complete, Matt.
To your point, this is right on the edge of a fuel window. And if the rain is coming, as you suggested, they might not need to use all of the gallons in the tank. All 3 cars down and away. Jones looks like he's just about going to beat Briscoe out, is he? They're going to be side by side, a little bit of a drag race between them on the exit of the pit lane. Briscoe will prevail, and as we talked about earlier, it's a massive lap here, so they're going to be well in front of Denny Hamlin, the leader. And second place in this time, John Hunter Nemechek is in pit lane.
Yep, Nemechek pitting from second. He is in the mix for his first career Cup Series win here today. We've had some drivers here lately get their first career wins at Pocono. As Nemechek comes to pit lane here, they jack the right side of the Pye Barker Fire and Safety Toyota up, off to the left side. Second can of Sunoco Racing fuel going in. They will wait just a bit for fuel. Nemechek is away on pit road this lap with Ryan Preece and Austin Dillon. Preece in his blue, silver, and orange number 60 for RFK Racing is away. First career wins at Pocono. Jeremy Mayfield did it in 1998. Talked about Denny Hamlin in 2006. In this race, a couple of drivers beyond Hamlin that's done it. Chris Buescher in 2016. Ryan Blaney the year after that. John Hunter Nemechek perhaps today, looking for his first career win, for it to come at the Tricky Triangle. Here's a Hendrick reunion on pit road. Chase Elliott, William Byron, Kyle Larson. Let's cover the Chase Elliott stop, Seth.
So Chase Elliott comes in, the Napa 9. Is there going to be any Napa know-how here? Really quick pit stop. Byron's down away too. They almost make contact.
Austin Cindric on pit road this lap. Alex Bowman. So all 4 of the Hendrick cars on pit road this lap. Also Austin Hill is in. So 5 make that 6 cars on pit road with 40 laps to go. They exit with Byron ahead of Elliott, Larson, Cindric, and Bowman. So the Hendrick family reunion rejoins the racetrack. As they do, John Hunter Nemechek will close in on them, Matt.
Yeah, right, with the guys that pitted a couple of laps ago, Nemechek in the midst of this. He passes Chase Elliott, but Byron looks like they've had a great stop there with Rudy Fugle and the gang at the 24. He's going to lead this group then. They head towards turn 2, with Nemechek sliding in a second in his little group, Elliott and Larson next up in the queue.
Right, so everything's starting to shuffle out a little bit. Denny Hamlin being scored as the leader. Michael McDowell's in the pits.
McDowell, the Delaware Life Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports, is in. 4 tires and fuel, and they will wait on fuel there. It was interesting, Matt. Didn't look like they waited on fuel on any of those Hendrick cars, so that's why they jumped Nemechek, because they did wait on fuel on the 42. Here's Denny Hamlin off turn 3 and coming to pit road. This would come to complete lap 122, so Hamlin stayed out longer than a number of guys running behind him. Hamlin will pit now, the King's Hawaiian Toyota with the number 1 pit stall after winning the pole. Has not had to go to the back today. Maybe that's not a good omen for him, as the way it's gone the last 2 weeks. Okay, Matt, turn 1 into pit road. Here's our leader.
He pulls up slightly short of his mark. Right-hand side tyres done very, very quickly. The crew will swing around to the left. And they have completed the tyres, and they also not waiting on fuel. And Denny Hamlin down and away. Will he clear the 24?
Yeah, clearly a quick stop for William Byron has put him in the mix here, Matt, but the answer to that is he'll clear him easily. Hamlin will be well ahead of the red, white, and blue 24 of William Byron. That's how big of a lead Hamlin stretched out.
Yeah, so the advantage of having a fast car, with the advantage of being on the pit lane on your own and all that comes with it, has given Hamlin the de facto lead back. Tyler Reddick is the race leader at this moment in time. We'll have to wait and see if anyone else comes to the pit lane this time.
See if indeed he does. Again, working through 37 laps to... By the way, Matthew, I meant to ask her, how'd you like the way I praised it? The Great American Getaway 400.
Ken Squire did do a lot of Pocono races in his time on the Superstation, WTBS.
WTBS.
Well, there you go. So, still waiting on a number of cars to come down pit road. In fact, as I look to my right into the full field rundown, Matt, Denny Hamlin is being scored 16th, so it's 15 cars that have not come to pit road yet. They're going to try a bit of a different strategy, and a number of those guys are the ones that did pit under that last caution that was brought out for Casey Mears, so they've got more fuel aboard.
Yeah, they're going to be trying to run the tank out, whereas these guys that are pitted now have got to a point where they have enough space in the tank. If they fuel it, they can get to the end. So differing strategies. I have to wait and see how it all shuffles through. But just because it's on the screen, and I've noticed it, a flag wave, Connor Zilic in the top 10.
Yeah, well, Connor needs something to go his way after the rookie season that he's had. He's got Roto Rooter on the hood and quarter panels of the car. They needed to clean the pipes this weekend of what the story has been for their rookie season. 10th for Zilic right now as the would-be leaders hurdle back to 1.
Denny Hamlin, the leader of this group, is 14th in the running order, as you can see. So plenty of people in front of him still to stop. He's in turn 2. He's already got pretty much a full straightaway over Larson, who's a couple of cars back from him.
Indeed. So Hamlin again will be the leader, and he'll have a pretty comfortable lead when he does cycle back to the race lead.
Hamlin trying to run down Daniel Dye on the racetrack to overtake him for the 15th position. As Tyler Reddick continues to show the way on a different strategy. He's the leader by some 3 seconds on Ross Chastain. So when it all cycles around, it should be Hamlin from Byron, then Nemechek, Matt, who again waited for fuel when others didn't. That's cost him some time on the racetrack, but might help this 42 team, especially if we go into overtime.
Yeah, perhaps, but Hamlin, if he might have to save some to get him there. Advantage he's got is he's got a fast car to drag the gap out and then mirror drive while saving fuel basically to the end of the race if he needs to, if this plays out green all the way. Same a little bit could be said for William Byron in second position. So have to wait and see how this all pans out in the next 40 minutes or so with rain on the way.
Yep, and it certainly wouldn't be the first time that a Pocono race, Seth Eaves, came down to some fuel mileage play.
You're right about that. We have seen it happen plenty of times. 2015 comes to mind.
Heck, even last year, no one thought Chase Briscoe was going to be able to make it to the end, and he did.
Yeah, that's true. That's exactly right. And then, of course, you had 2015 when it comes to, of course, an infamous commentary on NBC or NBCSN, I think it was. But anyway, we weren't quite doing races together yet. But I'll tell you what, Matthew, I'm sure you and I both were watching that, and it was a rather wild one to follow. Actually,
Yeah.
I was listening to it because I was out somewhere, but that was quite a day. And Matt Kenseth, who, contrary to belief, did not get his third win at Pocono. It was his first.
Well, indeed, yes. Yeah, you do love when Rick
Just
Allen.
win at Pocono! Matt Kenseth, his third win at Pocono!
Yeah, you love when Rick Allen is calling him to the finish. His third win at Pocono, while he comes over the radio and sounds shocked that he actually has won at Pocono for the first time. That's brilliant. Anyway, 33 laps to go. It was about that many laps to go last week, Matt, where we did a shout-out to Cole Custer and the Haas Factory team. Still a pit stop to make for the 41 team, but they put themselves in position where if they could get a yellow here down the stretch, they'd be a part of the mix. He runs 10th as we approach the final handful of laps here.
Yeah, another good run for those guys. A little concerning, the camera on the roof of the Austin Cindric number 2. The skies are blue. There is grime all over the camera. Now, I'm hoping that isn't stuff falling from the sky. Tyler Reddick's camera is fairly more cleaner, so hopefully that is just a dirty lens on the top of the 2 car. Yeah, exactly. Old debris has got up there and dirtied up the camera of Austin Cindric. Joey Logano fans, he's still running around with that damage, but many laps down, just staying, I say many, 3 laps down, he's in 34th position, just staying out of the way of this would-be lead bunch as they come down through turn 1 and 2. Oh, to 1, sorry. I've made that taken a 5-corner mistake again, haven't I? But these guys all playing around. Tyler Reddick still the leader by almost 4 seconds on Ross Chastain.
And as you can see, the running order on your screen, Logano in 34th, currently with a lot of strategy still to play out, of course. Austin Cindric in 21st. Those two came in separated by 1 point for the final spot inside the chase. 16 drivers, of course, make the chase. The regular season finale is at Daytona on Saturday, August the 29th. After this race finishes, there will be just 10 races remaining in the regular season. We talk about how long the season is, but boy, it could go by quickly. Speaking of going... Yeah, go ahead.
What do I always tell you, Matthew, when we talk about this sport? Only with NASCAR, when you're having this much fun in a sport you love, does a 36-week season go by as fast as it does.
And
I think to the discussion that we had off air the other day, I think I've only got one more regular season.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I was about to tee up. Talking about going by fast. Matt's been on for just about all of these first 16 races, save for a few. But goodness, we say goodbye to you on NASCAR coverage, Matt, after today, and you're not back again until like Iowa in August.
Yeah, exactly. See you.
On a summer vacation.
Yes.
If they build it, Matt will come. And talking of coming, here is Carson Hocevar in the pit lane. Is this heaven? Nope. It's the USN Super Booth at Iowa.
Well, indeed. Carson Hocevar's pit service complete along with Cole Custer. Yeah, Matt truly does only have 1 race remaining in the regular season after today. He's on for Iowa. That's it.
And then the next one's New Hampshire, I think.
Yeah. No, you're away for New Hampshire because that's...
Oh, that's right. That's when we're on holiday.
Freedom
yeah,
250 weekend.
Yep. Wowzers.
So, Matt goes away for summer vacation, and then he goes away again on August 9th and doesn't return for another month until Gateway. Because
Gateway.
By the way,
I knew he was over on some description.
By the way, Matthew, did you ever confirm whether or not we're going to have the Freedom 250 fights tonight?
I don't believe so. I don't believe we're going to bring you the UFC fights from the Octagon on the White House South Lawn. Not on the channel tonight, unfortunately. We have other commitments. But speaking of the upcoming NASCAR schedule, we will be back with you on the channel and, of course, on JBM
Hold the hell
next
up.
Sunday for San Diego. Okay.
The player escorts are sponsored.
Well, yeah. Everything's
The
sponsored.
player escorts are sponsored by Quaker. I hate to morph into JT here, but man, we'll just pinch out a buck for everything.
Well, yeah. Nothing new there. We'd like to take some money from other people as well, as
I did not realize. I guess I just hadn't paid attention yet that during the kid mascot's coming out. That's sponsored here.
Why are we surprised? We're talking about America here.
But remember, JT, this again, you're the country that puts sponsorship buttons on everything else, on shirts and jerseys and everything else.
I'll sponsor my walkout for the broadcast, Sprite with tea. We'll do a whole walkout on the broadcast. We'll have cameras on as I approach my chair.
Mine is sponsored by Coke Zero.
And mine is sponsored by Orange Juice with no pole, as Austin Hill makes the pass in turn 2.
Is that what's in all those water bottles, Matt? We're counting how many water bottles you go through on air.
It's normally just the one, but it is warm in the broadcast booth, let's say that.
Well, indeed. Anyway, as I said, we'll be back
Thank
with you next...
lights on. I don't need to have the lights on for this broadcast today, thankfully.
Well, yes. We'll be back with you next Sunday for the first ever San Diego street course race on the Naval Base Coronado, the Anduril 250. We'll be with you next Sunday. Then we will hand the reins over to JBM to be on JBM and USN for Sonoma. Then from there we go to Chicagoland, Atlanta, always a thrilling race, North Wilkesboro, and the uniquely named Window World 450. And then, of course, on July 26th, we'll have the Brickyard 400 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The upcoming NASCAR Cup Series races will be here on USN and JBM for all of them. As we have talked about for the last 5 minutes, Tyler Reddick continues to lead, laps clicking away, 26 laps remaining here in the Great American Getaway 400, and just as I say that, Reddick leads no longer because he comes to pit road. So the leader pits coming to the completion of lap 135, and then for the second time today, Ross Chastain lights up the right front trying to get down to pit road speed limit. Let's go to pit road.
Here for tires and fuel. Ross Chastain coming in right behind him, pitted 2 stalls back from him as you see him enter the screen. Ross Chastain has been building free, and he asked for a small chassis adjustment, which Steve might slow down that pit stall a little bit.
Yeah, you see 9 points.
Reddick and Chastain away. Hands the lead off to
guys,
Ryan Blaney.
These guys are going to have just as much, give or take, fuel in the tank as the rest of them, but they're going to have much fresher tyres to go from here to the end, and Reddick will slide out of the pits side by side with Chase Briscoe, and with the fresher tyres immediately has better mid-corner speed and will try and fight that off. So watch out for Tyler Reddick here in the next 5 to 10 minutes, trying to pick his way through this group, still being led by Hamlin.
Hamlin continuing to work his way through as he heads towards turns 2 and 3. William Byron also trying to nurse it on the racetrack. He's being scored 9th in the leaderboard, and he's only 1.1 second back of Hamlin on the interval, so this is going to get spicy here, folks.
Yeah, Byron has done a good job to close the gap, JT.
That was the most British emergency vehicle siren I think I've ever heard Matt White.
Yes. I live fairly close to an ambulance, fairly close to a hospital and a fire station. Apologies for that.
Oh, good. I just looked out my window to see if they had caught me. They had not. I'm still out on the land.
Not yet. Boiled again.
Yeah. So Blaney leads now from Ty Gibbs and Daniel Suarez, and now Gibbs from second to pit road. The Monster Energy 54's in, JT. Whoa, and in too deep.
Later in the run as he went a little far over onto that hose, so adjusted there before starting that stop. So a little hiccup, and this is actually the second hiccup of the day for them on pit road. Remember, they had an issue on the right rear in an earlier stop, but not a great stop under green for the 54.
He needs to hold his breath, or someone needs to scare him on the radio if that's the second hiccup that he's had of the day.
Very good. So Gibbs loses track position there after going too deep into his pit box and having to reverse back in. Ryan Blaney leads, but now he comes to pit road.
But quickly on Gibbs before we move on, wouldn't be surprised if Ty Gibbs gets a penalty. The guy that took the windscreen tear off took it off while he was on the white line. That might give them a penalty. We'll keep an eye on that. Right side tyres done for the 12. They will go with 4 tyres, swing around to the left-hand side. No need to wait on fuel. Ryan Blaney is done. Here's Daniel Suarez.
Suarez also in. He's towards the turn 1 into pit road. This gives the lead for now to Christopher Bell. Suarez stops on his marks. Right side tires going on the Romley Chevrolet, and only right side tires. Suarez is away. Ryan Sparks, the crew chief, who of course made the call that won this team the Coca-Cola World 600 at Charlotte a few weeks back, makes a 2-tire call here with 22 laps to go. Christopher Bell now leads. Shane Van Gisbergen slow on the racetrack. Is he okay, though, Matt? I think he is.
Not sure. I think he was just trying to stay out of the way of Kyle Larson, but he's slow in the middle of turn 2 as well. So it might be a problem here for SVG, who'd got himself back on the lead lap with the wave arounds and the cautions and whatnot. And we're going to see a replay. Now, he was way up out of the groove in turn 1.
SVG slowing. He's tagged the wall, no caution.
Very good.
Looked like he missed it, to your point, JT. So, yeah, all good. Just cleaning the tyres off and we stay green.
So we're just waiting on Christopher Bell to pit now. Once he does, pit stops will cycle the lead back to Denny Hamlin, who again, through the seesaw affair of getting through traffic and all of that, Matt, has been closed in on by William Byron.
Yeah, indeed so. So we'll have to wait and see how this pans out. What's the gap? Just under a second between those two at the what would be the race. And Bell is coming this time. No, he's got one more lap. Under at Jerry World, by the way, between the Netherlands and Japan.
Yeah, if we have anything between now and the finish of that game,
John Champion and Ali McCoy's on for ITV. What a duo!
We will.
Oh wow!
We will update you if anything happens.
Bell's trying to save it here, trying to stretch it on fuel. Isn't that? God almighty, Matthew.
Yep.
Here we are talking about just him surviving, and now look at this guy.
Well, again,
of course,
you know,
we have seen guys win shortly after bad injuries here at Pocono before.
We have. Brad Keselowski won here in 2011, right after that terrible testing crash at Road Atlanta. Broken ankle, and he won at Pocono. I don't get the feeling this is going to work out for Bell, Matt. He's still got 50 miles to go, but gonna try. Yeah. Maybe get a caution.
Let's see how much Denny Hamlin takes out of him on this lap we've just completed. It was 10.5 seconds at the line this time. Bell has already started the next lap. We wait for Hamlin to click across the line, and it is, as he comes over, 9.9. So he took 0.6 out of him on that lap. So plenty of time for Hamlin to catch, if it is the case that Bell is sticking this out. But what a story it would be if he can do it. He's now, they're praying for rain in the 20 camp, you would imagine.
Yeah, and of course he has not yet won this year, Bell. His last win was the night race at Bristol last season in the playoffs. Yes, I just said the playoffs.
And it's, oh, God. And it's funny, Matthew, that, you know, just a few weeks ago, it was Bell doing this chasing to Zane Smith in a similar situation at Nashville.
Yep. Bell, of
Unreal.
course, back-to-back second-place finishes for Bell prior to the crash at Michigan last week. He's been getting close to that first win of the season. He's just had some things go against him. Remember, he easily could have won Texas or Kansas and got taken out in those races, too. Texas, he was leading at the end of stage one, got crashed by a lapped car. At Kansas, he was up front for the overtime restart and got pushed into the wall in a scramble there. So a lot of people have been talking about Christopher Bell not being up to par as he normally is this season, but honestly, it's just been a number of circumstances that's kept that 20 team from victory lane this year. As Seth mentioned, we know how close he was at Nashville. The week before that, even at Charlotte, he had the tire advantage on Daniel Suarez if that race just could have kept going without the rain interruptions, but they never could get going after a couple of rain yellows. So Bell going to try to get to the end on fuel, but again, would have to go a long, long way. I'll just put this in JT's ear now.
Say.
JT, when was the last lap Christopher Bell was on pit road? If you could
check in.
Yeah, find that and put it in to us, because he's still got 17 laps to make it from here. The gap from Byron to Hamlin, though, continues to close up, and William Byron, who hasn't had a lot of pace in this 24 car all year long, Seth, he's only half a second behind Hamlin. That's just a couple of car lengths. They're coming to you in 2.
108.
Oh, God, 52 laps would be a long way. Let's pick up the battle for second, Seth.
Yeah, Hamlin now about 2 car lengths ahead of William Byron as they head down the short straight, heading into turn number 3. And it's Hamlin again Byron trying that really low line, but it hasn't seemed to be working for him. So next to turn 3, and as the laps wind down here, high drama, yeah.
And to the point from before, only 0.4 of a second Hamlin took out of Bell on the last lap. So that's trending back towards Christopher Bell. If he can drag the fuel out and or the rain comes, and out of turn 2 comes this battle for second. They are about 2 and a bit seconds clear of John Hunter Nemechek in 4th place. Kyle Larson completes the top 5. Traffic in front of Denny Hamlin as well in a moment or two. So that might be a chance for William Byron to get latched into the back of the 11 car.
By the way, Denny Hamlin, going for a little bit of history, if I remember correctly, remember reading this correctly, the last time that a driver won 3 straight races after qualifying first, because remember Denny Hamlin didn't technically start first last week, qualified first and finished first, was Darrell Waltrip back in, I believe it was 1982.
Wow.
There would be an asterisk next to that because his Nashville pole was set by the metric, but your point is well taken. That's
true. Adam Stevens, quote, "It's going to be close. We've got to have fuel in the end, man. Keep saving."
I mean, if he says it's going to be close, 52 laps.
That's nowhere near, is it?
I mean, Chase Briscoe last year, no one thought he could make it the final 40. And he shocked everybody by going 40. I mean, 52. There were a few caution laps in there, Matt, but maybe, 5 for the Casey Mears yellow?
This is rolling into rivaling Joey Logano's fuel run at Nashville last year. If he can make this, and granted that was a lot of yellow, but still, in terms of distance, it's going to be a long, long way. It's now 7.7 seconds at the line this time, 14 to go between the leaders. Hamlin's just sneaked away from Byron on that lap. Here's a battle for 5th position heading towards turn 1. It's not much of a battle anymore. Tyler Reddick on the fresher tyres. He could still play a role in this. He's 14 seconds back of the leader. He's just passed Kyle Larson to go up in a 5th position. So Reddick on the alternate strategy, running down this group as we predicted would happen. I think he's going to probably run out of time. He's got 14 seconds to find in 14 laps and pass 4 other guys.
Yeah, probably not going to happen there. What you got, JT?
Jeff Gluck also reporting about Adam Stevens telling Christopher Bell about his chance for top 3, so they must not be confident about holding off Hamlin.
Well, we'll see. It just went from 7.6 to 7.0, so he's cut off another 0.6 as Hamlin. Remember, it was Hamlin who was stalking Briscoe, a teammate, at the end of this race last year. No one thought Briscoe could make it to the end, but he did. Hamlin finished second. Now here he is trying to run down a teammate that's trying to make it on fuel. And again, the more laps they can make here with Bell not only gets them closer to the finish, but if a caution were to come out, all of these guys have been on pit road long enough, have been on the racetrack rather, Matt, long enough that if a yellow does come out, most of them would pit, and Bell would be able to pit with them and come out in a recycle.
Wesley
Asterisk on
Snyder,
most
a
of them
very old
because-
Edwin Vandersar here in Dallas. God, he looks rough.
Asterisk on that because there will be people that will try to stay out. So we will see how that plays out. Here comes Hamlin making a move on one of the lap cars down the straightaway, and that'll give him a bit more breathing space back to Byron. The gap now 6.5 seconds. The Reddick gap 12.4. So still on pace to catch Bell if he's going at a second a lap or so.
Yeah, Reddick is the one that's really charging on the much fresher tires. Here's Bell, Seth, going to 3.
Yeah, going to 3, and again, Christopher Bell just trying to nurse and save the best he possibly can as he exits turn number 3. He'll get ready to put another lap on the board on that Ream Toyota.
11 laps to go, as his
Surely
lead
not.
at the end of the last lap was 6.5 seconds. At the end of this one, it's 5.7. So it's another 0.8 that Hamlin has cut out, Matt. 11 to go.
And 11.5 the gap, or 11.6 the gap to Reddick. So we're keeping an eye on a lot of things here. As we wish we had a camera inside Christopher Bell's fuel tank, but we can't see what he's got in there. But what we can do is watch the clock, and the gap is coming down. But to Seth's point, surely not. Surely he can't drag this out, can he?
Just never know, do you?
Well, it's truly going to come right down to the end here if he's going to try to make it. Now, they might throw in the towel. We'll see. Across the line, 10 laps to go. Again, that is still 25 miles to make for Christopher Bell. The lead drops again, 4.8 seconds. And looking on our screens, Matt, on our monitors, he's so much out of the throttle before he even enters the corner. And he's not shifting, trying to save fuel as well.
Looks like me coasting down the big hill. I come back down on the way home from work in neutral most nights. He's doing all he can here. Adam Stevens looking on. Be an emotional one for Adam Stevens if he could pull this out, just by the way. 4.8 seconds the gap at the front.
Right now it is all about Denny Hamlin trying to chase Christopher Bell. And the thing is, Bell has the lead, but, forget the fuel. As we mentioned, Hamlin's closing in for the, just in general, on pace in general.
He needs about half a second a lap, Hamlin, and he just got 0.8 on that lap. It's down to 4 seconds flat, 9 to go.
Reddick another second out of the leader as well. So he's 9.6 back with 9 to play. All concertinaing up to perhaps a grandstand finish between, yes, yet again, 3 Camrys, but it is what it is. But hopefully we will get some excitement here, and the weather can stay away for the next 15 minutes and we get a clean finish.
That is the hope. And William Byron, his assault on Denny Hamlin has lost a significant amount of traction. So doesn't look like it's going to be doesn't look like it's going to work out for Byron. John Hunter Nemechek, not going to be a win, but wow, what a day.
It's been a terrific day for Nemechek, who's going to shortly lose 4th to the onrushing Tyler Reddick, who, again, on fresher tires, has been taking chunks out of gaps. So he'll get by Nemechek pretty soon here, Matt, but that'll put Nemechek 5th, where he might be able to hold.
Yeah, indeed so. Reddick up behind him as they head towards turn 1. This might slow Reddick's pace slightly, but he'll want to get past JHN as quickly as he can. 3.4 the gap at the front of the field, as you mentioned now. Be 7 to go at the line this time. And Reddick is still not managed to find a way through. He's not even got close. He looks like he's got into that dirty air bubble behind the 42.
He had. So Bell again just needs to he's basically on a wing, a hope, and a prayer at this particular moment.
Yeah. Yeah, oh my
2.6.
goodness. And yeah, it just came down to 2.6 seconds now between Bell and Hamlin, so Hamlin is going to catch him. And much like when Bell ran down Zane Smith in the closing laps at Nashville a few weeks back, once Hamlin gets there, Matt, there's not going to be any defense that Bell has. You know, he'll be able to aero block for maybe 1 or 2 corners, and that'll be it.
Yeah, exactly. He just hasn't had the pace, or won't have the pace to fend him off. Reddick now 7.7, so this being stuck behind Nemechek is probably going to run the rule on Tyler Reddick getting any further forward in terms of battling for the lead. Amazon doing there through the field at the back end of the top 10. Quick shout out for the guys at the back end of the top 10, including the man in the number 1 car, Seth Chastain.
Great run, and a much-needed great run for that green car. He runs in the 9th position, so a good day for Ross. By the way, 28 cars on the leader lap.
Yeah, so again, if someone has an issue down these last 6 laps, they will lose a lot of positions with all those cars still on the lead lap. But yeah, Chastain, as you mentioned, really big run for the 1 car when they needed it. Here comes Hamlin now, less than 2 seconds behind Bell. Josh Berry is between those two, Seth. Berry should be able to pass Bell pretty quickly here.
You would think so as they head down that short straight, and wow, Berry gives way to Denny Hamlin. So Bell and Hamlin, no buffer cars now. Hamlin could see that black and white 20 in his sights.
And we talked about how long Bell has been on the racetrack and what that's done for his fuel number, Matt. Also, you could visibly see as he came through turn 3, he's been on these tires for a long time too. So not only is he having to save fuel, the car's also not handling well. Denny Hamlin stalking. Denny Hamlin might be loading up for a pass for the win here in 1 or 2 corners time.
Reddick 5 seconds back. He cleared Nemechek for 4th place, but yes, I agree. Hamlin is there now, or will be once they get back to turn 3, certainly with Seth. As they head to 2, Bell's going to be out of the throttle way earlier than Hamlin. He'll have to slow right down for the corner, and there'll be bumper to bumper coming off too.
It's a matter of time now, you feel. About 2 car lengths separation between Bell and Hamlin, and now Hamlin just blows by. Denny Hamlin blows by Christopher Bell and goes to the lead at Pocono.
Charged the entry to turn 3. Bell had no defense as he's just trying to make it to the end. Denny Hamlin goes to the front with 4 laps to go, searching for yet another win at the tricky triangle. Now for Bell, it's all about pedaling back and getting to the finish. Even if he loses a couple spots, it'd be better than pitting. But now in clean air with the wind at his back, it's Denny Hamlin at the front at Pocono. What a story.
Yeah, indeed. So it's Hamlin clear. What will Byron do? He's not going to get to Bell on this lap, but he might get him on the next time round. Reddick now 3.5 seconds in back. He's just about going to run out of laps, is Tyler Reddick, the pace that Hamlin is going.
Yeah, and heck, Reddick's still got about 1.8 to get to Byron. So, yeah, Byron has a little too much traffic to deal with at the present time to make anything. So barring anything drastic, a caution or a mechanical issue or a tire, this is Denny Hamlin's race to lose.
And it would be his 3rd win in a row as the King's Hawaiian Toyota crosses the line. 3 laps to go. Last week, his 63rd career win put him level with Kyle Busch on the NASCAR wins list. He's going to try to clear Kyle today and set his sights after another great Dale Earnhardt, who's 13 wins ahead of him now.
Yep, so Byron cleared a second, and Hamlin continues to lead. It's now 1.5 seconds with a couple of corners to go, basically. Reddick powers through on Bell to go to 3rd place, and he looks like he's going to get Byron in the not-too-distant future, Seth, for 2nd.
So it's Denny Hamlin in a comfortable lead. The battle on for 2nd now between Bell and Byron as they work through turn number 3. Hamlin on cruise control.
Across the
Backs
line,
into the
2
garage.
laps to go. Tyler Reddick in the slipstream of William Byron. This is shades of Kansas, Matt, when Reddick had fresher tires and was trying to run down Hamlin, or when Hamlin was trying to run down Reddick, and then a caution came out coming to the white.
Yeah, exactly. Boot on the other foot now, but it's for second, not for the lead. And Reddick will try to cross over underneath Byron coming out of 1. Wasn't close enough to get alongside. We'll have to duck back in to take up the slipstream, heading back towards 2. Hamlin clear. A lap and a corner to go for the 11. Battle is on. A Royal Rumble for second place.
Indeed it is, between Reddick and Byron. It's a Royal Rumble, but it's more than 2 full seconds behind the leader, Hamlin. Reddick to the inside of Byron. He's going to get second. Hamlin's off 3 for the bell lap.
Reddick gets second as Denny Hamlin gets the white flag. He's on the final lap at Pocono, looking for yet another Pocono win. Christopher Bell is out of fuel and has to come to pit road on the last lap. They ran it dry in the 20. Denny Hamlin 3 corners away from 3 wins in a row.
Shame for Christopher Bell that he won't be able to make it, because that's a top 10 gone. And a points loss going to be hitting the 20 team again this week. But Denny Hamlin, this run through the early part of the summer is going to continue. 1 and a bit corners to go for Team 11. It'll be an 8th Pocono victory.
It's the summer of Hamlin. It's Denny's world, or the rest of us are just paying rent at this particular time. Through turn 3 for the final time. Denny Hamlin about to claim his 3rd straight win of the NASCAR Cup Series.
There's not many things that Denny Hamlin has not done in this Hall of Fame career, but he hasn't won 3 straight, but now he has. Hamlin completes the trilogy at the Tricky Triangle, his 3rd win in a row, and a record 8th victory at the Pocono Raceway for the hottest driver in NASCAR. Old news, Hamlin wins, Reddick second. They go 1-2 again. Denny Hamlin, the victory in the Great American Getaway 400. He doesn't want to get away from Pocono, Matt. He'd like to run here every week.
Yeah, exactly right. And as I said, an 8th win at this racetrack. And if you count the one they took away, that's 9 victories. An incredible record here. Pole position and a stage win and a race win. A really good points day. Although his championship rival finished second, he'll take a nibble out of him in the points. That's what they're trying to run down in Team 11 land, the championship. And he'll take a little bit of a small step towards it again today. And there's, to Seth's point, the graphic on screen from before.
Yep, 3 consecutive wins from the first starting position. Hamlin, the first to do it since Darrell Waltrip in '81, and just the 4th driver to ever do it, joining Bobby Allison and Richard Petty. Again, did not qualify on pole at Nashville a couple of weeks back. Qualifying rained out. That race was that lineup was set by the metric, but did start first, and he's finished first again. And this time around, Seth didn't have to come from worst to get back up to first.
Unbelievable. Whoa! Denny, look out.
Wow.
About to kill his crew member doing the burnout right there. But yeah, I mean, he can do it easy. He can do it the easy way. He can do it the hard way. It is just amazing what he's been able to do. And it is Denny's summer. And it is just another fantastic drive for one of the best drivers this sport has ever seen.
Denny's summer, it might be Denny's year, Matt. We know the story, 20 years of trying to win this championship. And right now, the championship is being absolutely dominated by the 2 drivers that finished first and second here today, and it's going to come down to those 2 for the regular season championship, and then we're going to get into the new/old chase, and it's going to be those 2 again. I mean, there's just no beating this duo of Hamlin and Reddick right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of fans won't like it mostly because it's Toyotas, but you have to take the hat off to them. They've absolutely got the job nailed on at the moment. It's bringing all of the other Camry running teams into play. a great day again for Legacy Motor Club. We'll touch on that again in a minute, I'm sure. But no one else can hold a candle to these Camrys at the moment. It's becoming a little bit embarrassing, you have to say. Hamlin with a flick turn on the start-finish line, which has got Rowdy 8 on it again this week. He now passes that man on the all-time winners list.
Matthew.
JT.
Minions, tonight we win the race.
Well, he's gotten it done yet again at Pocono. The third driver in the last 2 seasons to win 3 straight races. How about that? Hamlin gets out of the car, puts a foot on the roof, salutes the crowd, and we'll hear from him here in just a moment as he plays capture the flag yet again. Well, he started his career 20 years ago, and his first points win was right here. Now he's got another. Marty Snyder.
Crowd here at Pocono.
No doubt. First win here. Just so special here. I just, Pocono has mastered the fan experience from the crowd in the stands to the infield here. Nick and his whole team has just done an amazing job. I got to say, awesome for the King's Hawaiian car. Finally, the King's Hawaiian curse is over. They thought my head was getting a little big, so they made me wear this suit this week and to put me back to where I need to be. So I'm just so happy for this whole Joe Gibbs Racing team. This is a team effort. Giving me the fast cars. The pit crew is flawless right now. We just got it all going.
You and I stood right here 2 years ago, and it was mostly booze. I kind of heard a mix today. Are they starting to turn and like this 45-year-old Denny Hamlin, these fans?
I mean, thank you. Thank you. That really means a lot. Seriously. Thank you so much for that. Man, it's like a second home for me.
I want to ask you what Dale Jr. asked at the end of the race. Is this the most confident you've been in your 21 years in the Cup Series?
Well, I'd say it's certainly the best we've been. We come to the racetrack every week knowing that we got a great shot to win, and the team's just doing an amazing job giving me exactly what I need in the car every single week. So that's why we're winning.
And when it comes to that regular season championship, you heard Chris Gale say, we're closing in. Denny immediately came on the radio, said, I only care about wins. He gets another one here, the 8th at Pocono and 3rd in a row this year, Adam.
Well, I thought he cared about points more than winning, and that's why we went back to this system. Whatever. Denny Hamlin wins again at Pocono. Tyler Reddick finishing 2nd, William Byron, John Hunter Nemechek, and Kyle Larson rounding out the top 5. And a checkered flag pre-4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Would you believe? Amazing scenes.
You see what can be done.
It can be done. We don't even need, again, as I've been saying for so many years, I'm not even asking for 1 o'clock every week. 2 o'clock will do.
Or more races not on OTA TV.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how to set this up because I feel like I've set this up many times in my life. Final thoughts from a Denny Hamlin win at Pocono. Start with you, Matt.
Yeah, a Denny Hamlin win at Pocono was fairly routine. Relatively, they flirted with being beaten on the wrong strategy by his teammate, but Christopher Bell, which would have been a great story if that had come to pass. He ended up being credited with a 26th place finish after the late pit stop, which is a shame. And Tyler Reddick ran out of laps in the charge down with the fresh tyres. So judged to perfection from the driver, from the crew chief, from the team. So another Denny Hamlin victory. I don't think we're going to hear too much about him over the next 2 weeks, though, as he stalls getting into victory lane.
Seth, what'd you think? Once-a-year trip to the Tricky Triangle now these days. Wow, he's going to do even more celebrations here going into Victory Circle. Seth, this is another one just like last week we talked about with Michigan. Place it's been on the calendar for a long time, and a lot of people's thoughts about the racing at Michigan wasn't great for a long time. Then we started going once a year, and the crowds are great and the vibes are good. Same for Pocono here, another sellout. Campers all over the place. I don't think that you could shoehorn another camper into this place with a can of Crisco and a running start. Seth, good weekend at Pocono.
Yes. Great weekend indeed. Good to be on. A lot of fun. And I'll tell you right now, Denny Hamlin, again, we've seen it before. It's, you'll believe it when you see it, him actually winning a title. But I'll tell you right now, he's on an absolute tear right now. 64th win of his career, his 8th at Pocono. And now, wow, I mean, all right, Matthew Jenkins, can he go for 4 in a row next week in San Diego next week?
Yeah, you wouldn't bet on it. Maybe Brendan Sorsby would.
No,
but
no, you would not buy any there. I mean, well, I think there's only, like I said, I was joking with Matthew when talking about this race here about a month or two ago. I said, we're going to have Shane kicking the football, and we're going to still have 23rd place coming around to get the checkered flag.
Oh, yes, indeed.
He's going to be dodging cars while he's kicking the rugby ball next week. Hey, JT's got the soccer on.
Yeah, there he is.
Now he's got the Premier 2 HD on.
San Diego next week is going to be a spectacle, another new event for NASCAR on the Naval Base Coronado out in San Diego. It's a spectacle for sure. What kind of racing we'll get, we'll see. Track layout was put out there on social media during the week with iRacing laps. We'll tend to those matters next week. By the way, something that was done in the off season with this new point system was not wanting wins to automatically get you into a playoff, but wanting wins still to matter. And I think you're going to see that in these updated championship standings because, Matt, as you said, Hamlin finished, Reddick rather, finished second. So how much would Hamlin gain on him? You said it would be a nibble. I'd say it's a bit more than a nibble. It started the day at 51 points between them. It's now 19.
Oh, okay. I'd forgotten about the bonus, the extra for the win. So a good chunk in that case. Much more than a nibble.
So over the last 2 weeks, it's gone from over 100 to less than 20. Hamlin is making a charge for that regular season championship, which again means so much because when the regular season ends, there's Maria Sharapova. Oh my goodness. It's the greatest thing I've seen on this screen today.
Wolves lead the Marlies 1-0.
Okay, very good. I just was not expecting to see Maria Sharapova on screen. Anyhow.
Wimbledon final from about 2003.
Very good.
Oh my goodness! Still half an hour. Not a lot happening. It's so funny about a World Cup. The games you think that'll be meh, like South Korea and Czechia, end up being bangers. And the games you think that could be spicy or bangers, like Netherlands, Japan, end up being the mad games. And that's kind of what we've got through 30 minutes. There was a darn Twitter account. Someone posted 25 minutes update. I have none. I nearly fell asleep.
So 19 points between Reddick and Hamlin going into a couple of road courses in a row. We'll see. Again, Hamlin has not placed well on road courses in a long, long time. Certainly not in this next-gen car. No changes in the top 6 positions in the championship. Chris Buescher and Daniel Suarez both picked up 1 spot. Carson Hocevar dropped 2 to 9th. At the Chase Cut line, folks, guess who has jumped into the top 16? With Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano having bad days, welcome to the chase to Eric Jones. He picked up 2 spots, and he's now 16th, 4 points ahead of Keselowski, 21 ahead of Logano.
Great couple of weeks for that team. And
how about that?
All the talk this week about them, racing their way in. Well, they've done it, and they've done it in not record time. But double quick time for Eric Jones.
Unfortunately, 2 spots lost for Zane Smith after his 37th place finish, which is last 2 weeks have really stalled the good vibes around the 38 team. Joey Logano currently 18th in the standings. Wow. And as we go into the next 2 road course races, Shane Van Gisbergen could only muster 31st today. He stays 14th.
He's going to have his opportunities, don't worry.
Oh, yeah, he's only plus 10 now, but back-to-back road course races where he will be the heavy favorite to maximize points. Let's go driver of the day voting here. And again, we'll go around the racetrack. Turn 1, Matt White.
Well, I think I'm going to take him off the table. I'm sorry, guys. John Hunter Nemechek, what a performance all afternoon. And he gets a great finish. He's my driver of the day without shadow of a doubt.
Turn 3, Seth Eaves.
I'm going to have to agree.
Well, I will just go with his teammate Eric Jones. Finishes of 2nd and 6th in back-to-back weeks. He's raced his way inside the chase cutoff line. Well done for Eric Jones. Another good run for Ricky Stenhouse Jr., by the way, who finished 15th. That independent team, Hayek Motorsports, doing some good things. The independent teams, Hayek and Colleague, are punching above their weight this season. Stenhouse, of course, the top 5 at Nashville a few weeks back, 15th today. All right.
I've got one.
Oh, yes, JT, of course.
Yes. 3rd top 10 of the year, Ross Chastain.
Very good, yeah.
Yes.
8th place finish.
Hard to believe that's just his 3rd top 10, and it's almost Father's Day.
And
Had a 3rd in Atlanta, 7th in Talladega, and now an 8th here today.
Yeah, so he led the way for the Trackhouse charge. Connor Zilic, well, he didn't finish last, and, you know, had a handful of cars between himself and last this week. After 3 straight last place finishes, Zilic comes home 23rd today, which was a pretty good recovery after being a part of that 9-car accident early in the race. Game 2 of the Calder Cup Final, Chicago Wolves, Toronto Marlies underway. Jarek Rubel on the call. If you ever doubt Jarek Rubel and his dedication to being on this channel and calling games for us, don't. Believe me, I know what he's been through the last, 72 hours with the weather in Chicago. He has had to relocate to do this game today for us. So,
really?
Yeah, tune over there to Jarek. Show him appreciation for what he's doing. He's going above and beyond to
I
bring
will...
you Calder Cup Final, which we've never had on our channel on any of the past platforms.
I will give him a little bit of a surprise and send 300 viewers his way.
Very look at him. Look at you go. See, you're the best. That's why JT's the best. I don't know how you can do that, but if anyone could, you can.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how that, because JB said he did that after the Indy Grand Prix and did it.
I'll even.
I don't know how you bring viewers like that. You have a
And now, since you're on 4 digits, I can do it on yours as well.
Yeah, I think I saw like a redirect key or something, but anyway.
I was gonna say, it's like a bonus. Is there a bonus coverage button? We welcome a new audience.
I'll tell Jarek to say that. Okay, that is it.
Redirect is set up on both streams.
Oh, look at the good God. He did it in 3.7 seconds. All right. For everyone listening on JBM, glad you were with us as well throughout the day. Hopefully JB will be back and better than ever for San Diego next week and whatever the hell else he's covering next week.
MotoGP next weekend.
Sure, of course. So, thanks for all of you listening on JBM and here on USN, where, again, Calder Cup Final going on. And then later tonight, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time from Philly, Cote d'Ivoire and Ecuadorians will attempt to avoid battery-throwing fans at the link. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. No Santa Clauses in the vicinity. That's at 7 o'clock on the channel. Then at 8 o'clock, Game 6.
No greased crap on the light poles either.
No, and hopefully no gritty. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Game 6
Whoa,
of the Stanley Cup Final.
That's your second strike of the day. Nashville not in the Southeast, and now Gritty Slinger. It's enough out of you.
So we'll see you for all of that throughout the day, and we've got obviously an enormous week, a loaded up week of programming for you that we will see you for. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you like what you've seen and, more importantly, you liked what you heard. We say so long from Pocono, where the winner is, yet again, Denny Hamlin. So long.